Introduce the show.
I'm going to hit the intro right now.
Okay.
Welcome to another live episode of the Wisco Fanatics Show, where we discuss the Packers, Bucks, Brewers, Badgers football, and basketball from an optimistic perspective. Wisco Fanatics is brought to you by Cardboard Legacy, Wisconsin's most complete sports card shop. Buy, sell, grade, and consign all at their location in Oshkosh.
Welcome back to another episode of Wisco Fanatics. You're joined by myself, Tyler, Mike, the trio on Wednesdays during Badger football and basketball season. And we are on the eve of what I consider March Madness. I know there's the first four. We had a snooze fest last night where I believe it was Virginia had 14 points in the first half. They did not look like a tournament team at all. I didn't watch the game, thank God.
Right.
I saved myself those couple hours. I've been pretty busy. Got a new dog. We got a 9-week-old puppy. We named her Love, Jordan Love, obviously. She's a Husky Lab mix, so congratulations to us. I had to drive all the way to Fib country to go get her, but I saved her, and I brought her back to the homeland.
There you go.
So Mikey likes when I do this, so I got a couple for you.
All right.
So today's officially the first day of spring, although you can't tell if you live in Wisconsin. It's freezing balls outside. Also, we're expecting snow, a couple inches over the next couple of days, so that's great. All right, today is also National Proposal Day, something I'll never do. But
Same.
I have a proposal for everybody else out there, and I'm going to get real for a second. I started with a joke, but I come in light and I end heavy here. I have a proposal for everybody. I want everybody to be better fans, okay? This is something that us at Wisco Fanatics have been trying to get people to do. Be better fans. Let players develop, okay? If we have young players on the Badgers football team or basketball team, on the Brewers team, we're in the eve of the Milwaukee Brewers season, almost a week away, 8 days away. And if the Packers have young players, we have to let them develop, right? Let these players be young, let them figure it out, and just cheer them on, okay? And to be supportive and cheer them on, I looked up the definition of support, okay? Support is a thing that bears the weight of something or keeps it upright. And that is your job as a fan. You just need to be there for them emotionally. And, you know, when they're not playing good, cheer them on and be there for them. Be better fans. And I couldn't have picked a better day to say this because we are on the eve of March Madness, okay? Shit can hit the fan for March Madness, not just for the Badgers, but for a lot of people. Thank God we're not Virginia Cavalier fans. But with that being said, without further ado, we have 4 Badger basketball games to cover, 2 Milwaukee Bucks games to cover. One announcement first. One
announcement first.
Apologize.
Yeah. Settle down. Let the host run the show.
Sorry. I digress.
All right. So we're very excited. We've been planning this, feels like, for a month and a half now.
Man.
Jake and I are on April 1st. We are launching a Patreon. We are launching a way for people to subscribe to us to get more content. Now, what you're going to get from us from this Patreon page that we are launching is 2 watch parties per month. And we've done a couple of these before, and we've gotten tons of engagement. And Jake and I decided to take it a step further. And with Patreon, if you are subscribed to us on Patreon, which is going to go live on April 1st, Jake and I are going to curate our own pregame and postgame shows.
Oh.
So we are going to take from the patrons are going to vote for the next month's games, which 2 games they want us to cover, and Jake and I are going to create our own pregame and postgame shows. Now, we are going to test this out. So this coming Sunday for the Bucks and Oklahoma City game, we're going to test this out. And we're going to test this out and give a test run and show what we're going to be doing for it and show how it's going to work. And then we're going to do another one on April 16th. And these are going to include our pregame and postgame shows so people can see what we are going to be offering for something that we're going to ask people to subscribe to us for. And this is something that if we continue to grow, that it's something that we're going to maybe try to do more of in the future. And this is really just one of those ways where Jake and I are going to create extra content, and you get to see, what we go through during games. Things we notice, things we take notes on, how we interact not only with each other but with the games. It's going to be a big thing. And we hope it's something that helps take us a step closer to our goal, which is for the show to be our full-time careers. And I promise you, I can already say this for people who have contributed to us in the past, is if you are willing to give us $5 of your money every month to spend time with us for something that we work on, I can't even begin to tell you how appreciative I am of it, even before we're even starting.
Yeah, to even think about that is insane, honestly. Asking people for $5 every month is kind of crazy in my head when I break it down. But if you're crazy enough to do that and you want to hang out with us, I promise you we're going to give you 100% of everything that we have. Okay, we're gonna put everything we can into these pregame shows. We've done a lot of bouncing ideas back and forth off each other already, writing a lot of stuff down, ideas back and forth, talking about what we're going to do for the postgame show, talking about what we're going to do during the game. And we're just going to be guys being dudes. So if you want to hang out with a couple dudes, watch some basketball, baseball, football, and just hang out, I mean, this is the spot, honestly.
Again, mark your calendar starting on Sunday. Sunday is going to be our first test run so that people are going to be able to get an idea of what we are doing for this, so you can decide before we get into April. And then we're doing another one on April 16th. So then if you decide, from watching Sundays that like, oh, this is really cool, like this is worth $2.50 a game to watch these, then starting April 1st, that's when it's going to go live. We're going to have these subscriptions, and then people are going to be able to vote during April for which games that we're going to cover in May. So, it's a kind of a big deal. I mean, it's just more of us, but it's something that we're putting ourselves out there to try to do and take a next step.
You will become smarter if you join them, with the sports knowledge.
Well,
appreciate the endorsement.
I'll push the smarter over to Tyler.
Come on now.
I'll give you some entertainment. I like to yell and one. I like to yell that a lot. I like to yell, get that shit out of here. I like to yell that one a lot. So if you're okay with those two things, then yeah, definitely come join us on Sunday.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Again. Sunday night. That one's gonna be free. That's just the test run, so we can roll it out and see how it works out.
I like
All right. Let's jump into Maryland. So as Jake was beginning to say, 4 games in 4 days. The first one was Maryland. Mike, what stood out to you strictly from that Maryland game?
Yeah, first off, happy March Madness, everybody. Greatest time of the year. I'm going to give you guys a quick humble brag. I can't wait to be off tomorrow and Friday to watch nothing but nonstop college basketball. I keep telling my manager I would do no good if I actually came to the office for these next 2 days. I would literally get nothing done.
You'd be there physically, but not mentally.
So I would literally be doing them a favor. So I'm doing them a favor, honestly, taking my own personal time off. So, way to spin that, right? But anyway, what a stretch, right? This 4-game stretch here, starting with Maryland. I'm actually going to go a different direction here. Obviously, there's a lot of good things that happen in this game, but Maryland's one of their best player, Jameer Young, star point guard, who gave us an awful tough time last time when they came to the Kohl Center when we squeaked out that 4-point win. So I'm gonna throw out three guys that basically had the defensive responsibilities this whole time. So you got guys like Chucky Hepburn, Kamari McGee, who we've talked about has been a huge part of these last couple games prior to that, and John Blackwell with guarding Jameer Young. So Jameer Young's final stats, he had 18 points, and he actually scored 18 of the first 34 points for Maryland. But as you're watching the game, thanks, Brendan. Oh my God.
I had to put that on there, dude. I wanted you to see that.
You're throwing me off.
He's calling you out, bro.
But it's all good. So, Maryland got off to a decent start in this game. Like I said, with Jameer Young, he scored all 18 of his points, 18 of the first 34 for Maryland. But as the game wore on, you saw Wisconsin starting to make plays offensively, and they were starting to get more stops. And I think that's going to be a testament to, having this 3-man rotation, specifically, I think, with Chucky and Kamari McGee. I think Kamari McGee is a huge part of this. But Jameer Jameer Young just ran out of gas, I feel like. And, with these three guys, when you get fresh bodies, on, a guy like this, that's going to wear this guy down, I think, for the most part, because he was all Big Ten point guard. You really got to have all hands on deck with this guy. So I just wanted to give a call out to, the defensive rotations on this. I thought Greg Gardenstaff did a great job on, who to throw, which, between the three guys, who you should put on Jameer Young at the time of the game. And then besides his stats, I mean, everyone else for Maryland was 14 of 41. So I think right there that, tells you this all around was also a great defensive effort on top of what other accolades we had during this game. And I wanted to throw that out there real quick. So, and then take number two, from an offensive standpoint, we're a very unselfish basketball team. And it's not just this game too. There's other ones that, we can touch base on, but I wanted to really call out, we had 25 assists on 31 field goals in this game, which holy shit, right? And that led to 10 different guys for the Badgers scoring in this game. So, great balance. Again, the unselfishness is there. Great time to show it, especially in March. Coming off of, a Purdue game in which we played really, really hard against, just couldn't quite get the win. This is a great way to just bounce back and, off to the races in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I had it written down. The Badgers had 14 assists on 18 field goals in the first half. Chucky Hepburn had 7 of them.
Yeah.
So, Jake, is something you want to say about the Badgers and Maryland game?
Yeah, there's a few things. First of all, I want to call out John Blackwell. I mean, the future of this team, when Chucky eventually leaves, he's going to come back next year. But Chucky and Blackwell, Chucky and Blackwell are going to be tremendous next year. They're going to have Freitag behind them, and they're both just going to dominate. And then Freitag's going to step right in, and we're not even going to lose a step. So the backcourt for the foreseeable future, next couple of seasons, is going to be tremendous. Just want to point the nation first of all. Blackwell had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 0 assists. He started 4 of 4 from 3, which gets me to my next point. The Badgers' three-point shooting was phenomenal. You get a 3. Oprah was at the game, apparently. And the Badgers were 10 of 13 from 3 in the first half. That would have matched the second highest clip that the Badgers team had in an entire game. They did it in the first half. That is ridiculous. Obviously, John Blackwell helped out with that number. And just want to point out that Blackwell and Crowell combined for 7 of the 16 team three-pointers. So both of them were absolutely cooking. The Badgers started 6 of 6 overall from behind the arc. And 8 Badgers players made a three-point shot. Mike pointed out that 10 Badgers players scored. 8 of them made a 3. Those 8 players are Crowell, AJ Storr, Max Klesmit, Chucky Hepburn, John Blackwell, Nolan Winter, Gilmore, which is random, and he was a baller this weekend, and Connor Essegian. So you expect Connor, you don't expect to see Gilmore. Either way, they both made three-pointers, and we absolutely smacked the living hell out of Maryland.
That was fun. And I'm going to use Brennan's comment to transition right in here. Brennan said, people talk about how tough Wisconsin is when Crowell plays well, which is true. Chucky has always been the guy that makes it go, which we've talked about. Chucky is the facilitator, even when he's not scoring. Brennan said, when he's aggressive, Wisconsin is really good. Getting McGee back has helped keep Chucky more fresh, which I agree with as well. We answered this question 2 weeks ago about what we thought was kind of driving the engine of the Badgers struggling in February. And then we talked about it last week that I don't think we gave enough credit to how important Kamari McGee and John Blackwell were backing up Chucky Hepburn. And it's showed since they've both come back. The Badgers look like a much different team over the last 2 weeks, which I'm going to throw out a quote from Greg Gard that we posted on the page when we get to the Illinois game. But for me, one of the things that stood out was Stephen Crowell, and I'm going to hammer on this more in the future. Not now, but in the future. Stephen Crowell playing aggressive. Stephen Crowell is, like Brennan just said, people talk about how tough Wisconsin is when Crowell plays well. It's important. Obviously, it's important. Shouldn't have to say that. But he had 2 offensive rebounds in the first half that he converted into 4 second chance points by himself. He finished 7 of 8 from the field, Made all 3 of his threes, which thank you for facing the basket, Stephen Crowell. We talked about this probably 7 or 8 times over the course of the season of Stephen Crowell catching the ball and straddling the 3-point line and facing the sideline. And in this game, he's facing the basket, which is just everything you want to see from him. He finished with 17 points on 8 shots. I will take that every single day from Stephen Crowell.
Can I give you credit real quick?
Sure.
So Mikey talked last week about Crowell. Before Mikey left, he talked about he wanted Crowell to be aggressive and he wanted Crowell to score. That was one of his goals last week. And to your credit, you said we want him to score efficiently. And I would say that 17 points on 8 shots is pretty efficient.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then the other thing that stood out to me with this was, and Jake talked about this a little bit with 3-point shooting, is runs. The Badgers went on some insane runs. So the Badgers got at one point up 37-19. They struggled with Maryland's press a little bit, and Maryland went on a 5-0 run, and then the Badgers went on a 5-0 run right after that, and they finished the half on a 10-7. Here's the thing that really impresses me before I get into what happened in the second half. Maryland had the number 15 defense in the entire NCAA coming into this game. They allowed 31.3 opponent 3-point percentage. The Badgers demolished that. They scored 87 points and shot over double what Maryland normally allows for 3-point percentage. The Badgers shot 64% on threes. This is how the second half started. A steal and a layup on the first possession of the game turned into a 6-0 run, turned into an 8-0 run, turned into Stephen Crowell hitting a 3 for an 11-0 run. Chucky Hepburn hit a super deep 3 to make it a 14-0 run. AJ Storr made 2 free throws to make it 16-0. AJ Storr got another steal and then a spin for another layup, made it 18-0 run out of halftime. 18-0 out of halftime.
Man.
We've been talking about slow starts a few times this year too. I was so happy to see that. Oh, it couldn't happen at a better time.
Just a great confidence going into knowing that every time you advance, the games are going to get harder.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, what's out to you from Northwestern on Friday?
Well, one of our boys decided to have a career high. I got Mr. AJ Storr as take number 1. This was such a treat to watch. I couldn't believe what I was watching at first. We obviously knew he showed signs and then of, flashes or whatnot of what he could do, but this guy was all over the place, right? So AJ Storr, career high, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line. And I'm going to call this. This is a stat I wanted to really call out from all this. And that Evan Flood gave a stat, so props to him. So AJ Storr, after his first bucket in the beginning of the game, he did not go for more than 4 minutes and 17 seconds without scoring the rest of the game. So this dude was all over the place, obviously. So when you have a main component, Chucky Hepburn, who's not playing in the game,
yep.
Obviously other guys got to step up, right? So that's kind of going to my second point. But props to AJ Storr, obviously, picking up from the Maryland game, and then some times 10. But he, played incredible, without a doubt. Northwestern could not stop him. And he even said after the game, I think Evan Flood asked a question along the lines of, Northwestern defending him, and he flat out said they can't guard me. So that was, yeah, I'm going to send that. I'll send that to y'all later. But that was just a treat to watch. Yeah. It was real though. It was real.
Oh, yeah.
Because Northwestern's one of those teams, right, that likes to just get murky and just, get real freaking aggressive with you, whether that's doubling the post or whoever's coming through the lane, right? Kind of like what the old school Detroit Pistons do. If you're driving in the lane, you're going to get popped. But no, AJ Storr got through that, obviously with 30 points, 6 rebounds. He was definitely a big part of this game and big part of the reason why we won. And then going into my second point, I had picked apart a couple of things here, but I think quietly Max Klesmit put together a pretty good game. Again, going back to the point with Chucky Hepburn not being available, Max Klesmit had to be, for the most part, the number one main facilitator, I would say. I mean, yes, you got John Blackwell as well, who made his first career start officially, I think, as of that game, or maybe he made another one too. But anyway, so the main task against Northwestern was slowing down Boo Buie. And that, which is no slow task. It's another first or second team all Big Ten point guard that you gotta contain here, right? So he did get 29 on us, but there was a point between the first half and then the second half where Max Klesmit did take the reins and guarding him because they rotated between him and John Blackwell a little bit. Max Klesmit did shut out Boo Buie between, I think it was towards the end of the first half and the beginning of the second, for 14 minutes and 34 seconds. I know that might not mean much at the time, but I mean, that's a long, point, especially when you got Boo Buie, who's basically carrying that team. If you're shutting him out for that long.
How much did you say he finished with?
So Buie dropped 29 points that game,
okay,
or this game against Wisconsin.
He had 16 of their first 21.
Exactly.
Hey, settle down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So and that's where I was getting to that point where Klesmit shut him out for like 14 minutes and 34 seconds, but within that duration within the first half and even part of the second, which I think ended up being a key component of like why we won that game. And then offensively, he scored 10 points. He made 3 3-pointers, which were huge, and he dished out 7 assists, which goes back to being the number one main facilitator in this game. So quietly, I do think Klesmit put together a good game here.
Thank you for bringing the assists up because that's important outside of just points. So thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Jake, what stood out to you from Northwestern on Friday?
First of all, hi, Brett. How you doing, buddy? Second of all, Tyler was reading my notebook for a second.
Reading my notebook, so get out of my head.
I wanted to talk about mental toughness. And when you're without your star point guard, and yes, I'm calling Chucky Hepburn a star. Sue me. I don't care.
Second team all Big Ten.
And you know what? He may have proved that was kind of disrespectful this weekend. Just going to say that out loud.
It was.
He was clamping some dudes up, bro. So Boo Buie was cooking to come right out of the gate in this one. As Tyler said, he had 16 of the first 21, and he could have very easily kept going if an injury had not, altered him in this game. Like, I'm just going to call it what it is. So when that happened, the Badgers ended up going on a 12-0 run, I believe it was. And
settle down.
I had to take up from yours if you were going to take some from mine. Just kidding.
Sorry, boys. Sorry, Reggie. I had to mess with you. Reggie said, "What's boys?" He meant to say "What's good," and he corrected it.
I
know. Brett's getting into brackets. We're gonna talk brackets later. We're gonna talk lots of brackets later. So hold on to that, okay. Brett. Stick with us.
Yeah. Put a pin in that. I got some opinions on that, by the way.
Jake, no more talking about runs.
Sorry.
Settle down.
And Boo Buie is one of those guys. He's just a stud, and he's a microwave, right? He's kind of like lighter fluid, man. You pour that on the fire, boom, all of a sudden the fire gets bigger, right? And Boo Buie was cooking in this one. He was 1 3 away from tying a Big Ten tournament record for threes made. The record is 8. He had 7. So absolutely impressive game from him, even dealing with the nagging injury that he had. But he still was a factor late. He hit a 3-pointer to make the game 65-59 after the Badgers had gone up 10. That 3-pointer came at the 4:17 mark in the second half. Let me tell you something. You want to talk about mental toughness? You want to talk about winning big-time games? Northwestern didn't have a field goal the whole rest of the game. Over 4 minutes of clamping them. And Boo Buie was on a heater all day. That gets a clap. Now, we're going to talk about ball movement because this is the Wisconsin Badgers team that I know. This offense, specifically in this game, but in totality, right? They were awesome. Everybody was touching it. Ball was hopping. They're playing hot potato with it. And everybody's getting a touch. Everybody's getting a lick, right? And if you look at their assists to their field goals, they had 15 assists on 24 made field goals. That's 62%. And that's not even the best game they had this weekend. But that's still phenomenal. That is great stuff. And that's without your point guard. That's the reason I wanted to talk about this. That's without your main facilitator in the game. And it's still at 62%. This Badgers team can make a run.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about no James Madison, who, by the way, had the 329th toughest schedule in the country. Okay? Just want to point that out real quick before everybody starts talking about, I don't know if the Badgers are beating James Madison. Yes, we are.
Getting ahead of yourself.
We had the second hardest schedule. So I'm just going to say that right now. But I'm sick and tired of hearing that. I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. I'm sick and tired of hearing it. But anyways, we beat Northwestern. It was awesome.
It was awesome. And honestly, I just asked you guys when we were talking about the game on Friday. I'm like, I'm just going to take the same 2 takeaways if you guys are good with that.
Yeah, sure.
And I went with Stephen Crowell and runs. So Stephen Crowell finished 8 of 12. Again, the efficiency was there. Made 3 more threes. 3 for 5 in this game, 60%, which awesome. Yeah. And then he had 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And dude, in the first half, he made a 3, looked at the dude guarding him, and went like this, 2 feet from his face.
I was laughing. I wasn't like pumped up at the time. I was just like laughing. Oh my God.
I was like, bro, not only is he playing with confidence, now he's showing some swagger. Yeah. Like, what the hell is this, Stephen Crowell?
It's March Stephen Crowell.
This whole season. Do that shit all the time. That was awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
That was awesome, dude. Please play like that all the time. That version of Stephen Crowell I have written in all capital letters is dangerous.
Hell yeah.
If you're going to get 19 points on 12 shots, 17 points on 8 shots, while he's making 3 threes and getting a handful of rebounds and giving you second chance points, I don't care who your big man is.
Yeah.
Now, runs, again. So Northwestern at one point got up 23-12. Northwestern got up to an 11-point lead. That's when Boo Boo, he was going crazy. He was shooting ridiculous shots, and they were all going in. After the Badgers got down 23-12, they played fantastic. They outscored Northwestern 21-6 in the rest of the first half. Then, in the second half, Wisconsin had 4 5-0 runs and 1 4-0 run. They did not trade baskets with Northwestern, and all 5 of those runs can help translate into Wisconsin expanding their lead from 4 at halftime to 9 at the end of the game. So those 5 runs translated into 5 extra points, which took their halftime lead from 4 to their winning the game by 9. You can see the direct correlation. Those are 5 runs where they didn't trade any baskets, and it gave them 5 extra points on the scoreboard. All right, Mike, what stood out to you in the overtime game against Purdue on Saturday?
What stood out, I had a couple brewskis during this game down in Madison. That at State Street Brats, that's the number 1 takeaway. No, I'm kidding.
Number 1.
Number 1, yeah. So first point, overcoming adversity. Now, you can go multiple ways with this. I'm going to bring up a few points. If you look at a box score and you see one team shooting 32 free throws to your 9, do you think we're going to win that game? Do you think we're even going to stay close to winning that game?
My first thought. The stats for you because I posted them. I made a graphic and posted them. You want me to pull up the stats and tell you about it?
Yeah, I mean, you could, but I don't know. I wrote down the main ones that I think that I wanted to address.
Okay, so you're asking like what happens in these scenarios?
Yeah.
Wisconsin is the first team to win a conference tournament game while being outscored by 16 or more points at the free throw line. And you're talking about free throws. Purdue's 32 to Wisconsin's 9. That is the second largest disparity by a team that won a conference tournament game.
Yeah.
You're talking about the biggest gap and the second biggest gap in free throws by a team that won. And it was the Badgers.
Yeah. Just insane, right? So obviously the free throw disparity with overcoming all this was a huge, like, holy shit, we somehow won this. And then Well, kind of going along with that, the Badgers were called for 29 fouls in
Bro,
this game.
that's so dumb.
The previous high this year was 22 against Iowa. 29 fouls against Purdue in this game.
I understand Iowa. They play fast. So if you have to like foul when they're driving the lane and stuff, that makes sense to me. But the way that Purdue plays, that makes zero sense.
Yeah. And despite, all of this, we had between regulation and in overtime, we had our top 3 front court players, going along with that, our top 3 front court players fouled out. Stephen Crowell, Tyler Wall, and Nolan Winter. Yet, amongst all of that, we fucking, got her done. Max Klesmit, quote, throughout the game, we didn't think about it, complain about it, or cry about it. So these dudes were locked in, no matter what. And, we were basically bottom of the barrel, bench. I don't want to bring up too much shade with our bench here, but we were obviously on fumes, given the circumstances, but God damn it, boys, we got this one done. And you could tell, I messaged you during the game, both teams wanted it. It was super aggressive. Yes, I do think there was a little favoritism towards one team, but this was a backyard brawl. Two great teams going at it, but a couple haymakers being thrown around, but just overcoming all of that. And again, the one last point I want to make about the adversity part, the Badgers were plus 12 in points in the paint in this game. When have I brought this up? I just brought it up last week against Purdue. I think we're the 2 regular season games, we were plus 44, I think it was, points in the paint. We were plus 12 again in this game.
Damn.
When you think you're going against a 7'4" dude, you're not thinking initially, oh, we're going to win points in the paint. Sure shit, 3rd time in a row against Purdue.
That's almost an average of 19 a game.
Which is nuts, right? Like
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand. But yeah, plus 12 in this game against Purdue. So,
wow.
Yeah, want to call that out real quick. And then I ultimately think at the end of the day, what my second point, the Badgers won the turnover battle by a considerable margin. Wisconsin only had 5 turnovers in this game. Purdue had 16 turnovers in this game. So credit to our defense, which by all accounts, we haven't really given them good graces from a team perspective throughout this year. We've called them out from maybe not being quite as good as other teams in the past defensively. So, to see this, 5 turnovers versus getting 16 on Purdue, a Purdue team that's top 3 in the country at least, and favored by many to win the whole thing, I think speaks volumes. I know Jake's going to talk about him, but I think Chucky Hepburn absolutely destroyed Braden Smith, and you will go into detail on that. But just for the turnover perspective and all that, I wanted to give that a shout out real quick. And that a turnover battle, that led to the Badgers getting 15 points off of those turnovers. Purdue had 0 points off of our turnovers.
Oh, I think that's the game. Much.
I think that's the game right there. So what a gritty performance, obviously overcoming that adversity and winning that turnover battle, winning the points off of those turnovers. God damn it. I was so happy. I was also so drunk right after that. But God damn it. It was in celebration. I was jumping up and down with a bunch of people in State Street Brats. A couple of my buddies that were down there can attest to that. But it felt so great to be a Badger, like it always does.
Oh,
I want to throw this out there because I had turnovers written down as well. And the thing that I wanted to bring up with this is that the Badgers were able to force Zach Edey into some turnovers. And with that, the Badgers did have a 5-minute scoring drought in the beginning of the second half. But they were able to turn Zach Edey over 4 times. Badgers had 5 as a team. And Zach Edey had 4. Now, the thing with this is the Badgers were able to keep the game close, within striking distance, while they were on their scoring drought. So using their defense to basically protect their offense. And then with this, and this is part of it, is the hustle. Jake and I we posted video of breaking down some of the game or the plays from this Purdue game and the Illinois game, and we talked about the hustle. And the 3 main guys from this game specifically, Carter Gilmore, Max Klesmit, and Kamari McGee. Those 3 being first to the floor every time there's a 50-50 ball is 100% why the Badgers won this game. They out-hustled Purdue, and it's a massive factor.
I agree.
It's part of
100%.
Carter Gilmore turning it as a ball that went to Zach Edey's feet into a turnover. And then Carter Gilmore had another one that he dove on later on that the Badgers were able to get a timeout. And then Kamari McGee dove on a ball that he was able to outlet to John Blackwell, which turned into an A.J. Storr three-point shot that he made. So you look at a game the Badgers win by 1 in overtime, that stuff is 100% a factor. So, Jake, what's sort of to you from Purdue?
Well, if you guys be real quiet. Yep. They just called another follow on a Wisconsin Badgers big man. Zach Edey back to the free throw line.
Did you know that Michael Finley and Devin Harris fouled out of this game too?
Yeah. Did you see Alondo Tucker? He was pissed, dude. I can't believe he fouled out. His first game back, dude.
Joe Kravenhoff was in dress pants and a polo, and he fouled out.
Jeez, I thought they were going to foul out Greg Gard at one point during this
game. When they came into the locker room after the game and Greg Gard was like, who fouled out in this game? I was so waiting for everybody to raise their hands. I wanted everybody to be like, yep,
just
everybody to do it. But it was Crowell, Wall, and Winter, like Mike said. But I so badly wanted everybody to raise their hands. That would have been so funny.
Oh, man. So the thing that I wanted to talk about with guarding Edey, that's my first point, is it's going to be hard, okay? He is a massive, massive human being.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I don't understand how some of them, when he's getting offensive rebounds, how that is not over the back. Like, Nolan Winter is literally getting the shit beat out of him when he guards Zach Edey. I feel so bad for him. He gets punched in the face, elbowed, shouldered, it doesn't matter. There's like, you know what? I think we're going to call it on this guy. I don't like something about this guy, man. We're going to call it on you. And it's like, dude, what are we doing here, dude? Like, he literally
actually gets a good box out on him, and they call a foul on him that fouls him out of the game. I'm like, dude, he finally gets a good box out, and then you're just like, no, that guy's 7'4", 1,700 pounds. He must have fouled him.
Yeah, and like there was literally a possession where you got legit elbowed in the face, and they called a foul on him, and I could not believe what I just saw. I couldn't believe it.
Yep.
And it was amazing. But, you know, I said it to you guys. There was the early tech where Zach Edey, for some reason, thought he was him. I don't know what universe he was in, but he was never him. I don't care what player of the years that you've won. You're not him, okay? You're literally just huge. And he thought he was him, so he started giving a stare, and I'm like, bro, you better get all those out while you're at Purdue, buddy, because when you go up to the big boy league and you try to do that shit, you're about to get dunked on, okay? Have fun guarding Wembanyama.
They are the same height.
Yeah.
Him and Wemby are the same height.
Bro, can you imagine, like, just a random guy, can you imagine him trying to check Karl Anthony Towns? Yeah, good fucking night. Good night.
I couldn't even imagine him trying to guard Brook Lopez.
He'd be getting his jockstrap, if anything.
Seriously, dude, Karl Anthony Towns will cook him badly.
Bam Adebayo would cook him.
Dude, he's rotisserie chicken. That's the biggest ass rotisserie chicken I've ever seen.
I think that's why he stayed at Purdue for this season.
I think so too.
Going to the NBA last year.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He knows. He has to know. But I digress. Like I was saying, the early techs, I knew that there was going to be some ticky-tack fouls. Did I think that the ticky-tack fouls were just going to be for Zach Edey and the rest of the game? No, I did not. But that's apparently what the refs took from that. Is they're like, you know what? They're making this player of the year guy mad. We should probably watch that. Like, what are we doing here, dude?
Is this the Big Ten? Are we in the Big Ten or not?
Exactly. And there's a reason that Purdue, and they've gotten better this year. Purdue has gotten better this year. Braden Smith has improved. I forgot 55's name, Jones, right?
Fletcher Lawyer.
Yeah.
Fletcher Lawyer's pretty good. I mean, they got a bunch of good players over there in Purdue. Purdue's a good team. Don't get me wrong.
Gillis
this was a great win for Wisconsin. But
Steve said Edey's going to hit the injured list with whiplash caused by NBA players blowing by him.
It's going to be bad, bro. But you know that it was just ridiculous. And there's a reason that they don't have success in March, you know, in the actual tournament, because they don't call that shit for him all game. He doesn't get 20 freaking free throws by himself.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing I'm going to talk about is Chucky Hepburn. And after he missed the game against Northwestern, you go to this Purdue game, and I really just want to congratulate him because there was a lot of games during the season where he wasn't scoring, and there was mid-range jump shots available, and he just wasn't taking it. And I'm watching these games, and I'm like, that's not the Chucky Hepburn I know, man. Like Chucky will do a little step back, fade away, and he'll usually hit that. That's his game. And his game when he's going, he's got a beautiful basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
He will lock you up.
Legit NBA chops if he can do what he does consistently.
If he get, I'm just gonna say this: if he gets a consistent 3-point shot and shows that he can shoot from range, because he's a littler guy, he doesn't have to take 7 a game, right? He doesn't have to be Steph Curry or Damian Lillard. You know,
he could be Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly, exactly. He could be a Patrick Beverly. He could be a dog on defense. He could be a guy that could play make a little bit. He just the occasional 3-pointer. He can etch out an NBA career.
Ooh, Steve needs to sign the Chucky Hepburn apology form.
Yeah, maybe
my list of apology forms is getting a little long, so I'm falling behind on it a little bit because there's like 6 of them that I want to make right now.
But I just want to give him credit because he shot 9 of 12 from the field, and he scored 22 big boy points.
Yes.
Those are big boy points. He was doing Braden Smith's game to Braden Smith.
Yeah.
Because Braden Smith usually does that he usually gets a screen from the left or the right. He'll take the screen and he'll fade away from the mid-range. And that's exactly what he was doing. He had a disgusting one in the corner. I was like, stop it.
That was sick.
I said, stop it right now. The man has to grow up and have a family, and his wife is going to see this one day. It's going to be terrible for him.
He did that, and I went, oh! That's literally what I did. Like, I could not keep it in. It just escaped.
Like, Chucky buckets.
Completely involuntary.
No, I was for real yelling, stop it at my team. I said, stop it. Like, come on, man. He was ridiculous. My favorite play of the game, and we broke this down. My favorite play from this entire game was Chucky Hepburn, 94-foot defense.
Dude, yeah.
He locked him. That man was in a straitjacket. That man had on 2 left shoes. He didn't know where the hell to go. He was done. And he got so mad that Chucky Hepburn was on his ass that he had to push off.
Yep.
And that was my favorite play, my favorite turnover. That was the play that won us the game. Now, I understand that we had to make a shot after that, but that right there, and momentum, Tyler talked about it. Momentum is such a big thing in college basketball. That was the momentum flipper. That was the last one we needed. And God damn it came from Chucky Hepburn, and I love him so much for it.
Yeah, Chucky Hepburn is fantastic. And we can throw this out here is after the Illinois game, Chucky Hepburn was asked what his motivation was for the way that he played over the weekend, and he said he was thirsty for blood.
Dude. Fucking savage mode. It's coming. I'm
Yeah.
ready. I am ready.
Whoa.
Steve said guards help in March. Glad we got an ascending one. Absolutely. And don't discredit Max Klesmit in this.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to start with that. I'm going to start with Max
Do
Klesmit.
it.
I like it.
Max Klesmit, apparently he was nursing a groin injury coming into this game already, and he kind of tweaked it in the second half and just proceeded to knock down 2 insanely clutch threes. The first one put the Badgers ahead 82-81, and the second one tied the game at 85. Max Klesmit just ice in the veins, cool under pressure, 2 huge clutch threes. Mike's muted, so he's trying to whisper something, but can't hear him.
Sorry about that. We're good.
Okay. All right. I'm like, I think he's trying to tell me something, but I can't hear what it is.
22 people right now are just like, what in the hell's wrong with that guy?
Proceed. Yeah.
Okay. My other one, I have Carter Gilmore written down. Now, he was really important against Purdue, but Carter had lost some minutes over the last month and a half or so to Marcus Silver.
Mm-hmm.
And he stayed ready. He was the underrated performer of the Purdue game, and he followed it up with another solid game of 7 points and 3 rebounds, all of which came on the offensive side of the ball. Steve said his first jumper after that injury was woefully short, thought we were in trouble, but he totally redeemed himself. And as soon as you said that, I pictured Dumb and Dumber when he's like, and totally redeem yourself. Like,
Dude, I thought after he gave up that shot to Shannon, when he got absolutely cooked by him, like on that drive, it was in the second. It pained. I was telling myself, I don't think I messaged you guys, but I thought because of his health and all that, should we take him out? But then what you just said, it's like, holy shit. Then he comes down, hits two big shots or whatnot. But I thought
the announcers exacerbated that because they were saying the same thing.
Yeah, I honestly thought we should have considered him bringing him out because in that scenario, we don't know at the time how bad that injury is. I mean, I get it. Max was, battling his ass off, and credit to him for sticking through it. But at the time, it's like, damn, is that injury worse than what it is? And I get it. It's against Shannon. This is an NBA player. He's obviously he's very good at what he does. Right?
Big Ten.
Yeah. He
quit.
redeemed him. But no, credit to your point. Definitely redeemed himself. Big part of why we stayed in this game.
Yeah,
so glad to call that out.
Jake, what's out to you from this?
A few things. First of all, hats off again. The team was sharing the ball, and the starters specifically, everybody was getting a touch. Hepburn had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Klesmit, you just talked about him. Klesmit was a dog at the end, hitting a couple big time shots and absolutely battling his ass off, dude. Between the Tyler Walls and the Max Klesmits, man, this team's got a lot of heart. I'll say that. And then the composure of Chucky Hepburn. If you were making like a chemical balance of a team, I think this one is a good one. They have the right leaders. I asked who the leaders were, and they're all stepping forward in their ways at the perfect time too, right? And then you get to Tyler Wall. Tyler Wall didn't have to do a lot of scoring. I think he was getting called for a lot of shiesty fouls over the weekend, but mainly in this one. That foul that fouled him out was absolutely ridiculous. That was a block.
Fifth one,
dude.
That was a block.
Bullshit.
Yeah. That play right there is what ended it for us, in my opinion. When they called that, they kind of just pulled the rug from under our feet. But Stephen Crowell, he stayed aggressive. I want to give him credit for that. He stayed aggressive, looked for his shot, and he played like a big man. For 4 straight games, he played like a legit big man. And look at how good this team looked. Now, you add in some stuff like AJ Storr going crazy, being selective with his shots. That's my next key, right? I want to talk about AJ Storr. The confidence this man has is ridiculous. If you can bottle it up, he can get a lot of money for it. Just going to tell you that right now, because the confidence on this guy, holy shit. Is he serious, bro? Like, is he serious? He came to a complete stop. He analyzed the situation from 15 feet away. There's about 9 people in the lane. He said, you know what? I think I can throw it off the backboard and catch this shit with 2 hands. And he almost did.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? What is going on right? Am I watching is this a movie, bro? Am I watching a Disney movie? Is this a Disney production? I thought I was watching a movie.
I thought I was watching Tracy McGrady in a Houston Rockets uniform with the red and white. No, AJ Storr. Dude,
that shit only happens.
People complained about it. We talked about this play. People complained about it. But the fact that he had the confidence to try it, well, hell yeah. Give me that version of AJ Storr.
I was like, what? And the thing I wanted to talk about Storr, and I kind of wanted to lump him with Hepburn a little bit, is the selective shot selections, right? They weren't just shooting shots to shoot shots, right? If they didn't have it, they moved it. They swung it. They moved the defense. They moved it all the way around. If it got back to you, okay, well, guess what? The basketball gods are telling you it's your turn now. So
let it fly.
And they were taking smart shots, and they were making them, all weekend. And credit to them. Badgers look like a legit contender. I think they would have been a 4 seed if they pulled this one out, though. I know they got a 5.
Yeah.
I think they would have been bumped up to a 4 just because they would have beat Purdue and Illinois. That's 2 very good teams. Illinois still would have been a 3 line, in my opinion. And Purdue is still a 1 line. So if you beat a 1 seed and a 3 seed en route to the championship, and the way that we beat Maryland, in my opinion, they move up to a 4 seed.
I don't know. That's tough because They finished. They got a 5 seed, which makes them a top
Yep.
20
Yep.
team.
They
They
were like number
finished
18 or
the
whatever.
rankings as the end of the season rankings at number 23.
Yeah,
So
and
they're
the
already
COVID-
kind of jumped up ahead of where ahead of
Yeah.
where they're ranked as opposed to where what seed they got.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I
That's
was
fair.
kind of leaning 5 seed if they had won or played close.
I mean, they gave us some respect giving us a 5 seed after the February we had, dude. I mean, honestly, could have easily been a 6-7 and like Mike was saying, an 8 seed if they would have faltered in this tournament. But to their credit, man.
I think the committee gave us the committee rankings, not like the final AP poll. I think we were 19 per the committee.
Right.
So with Jake's point, if we would have beat Illinois, it would have been close.
Yeah,
it would have been like maybe the last spot. But hey, I would have obviously taken it. But
at that point, I guess you're just talking about like who else is in that spot then.
Well, the thing for me, I want to say 2 things. First, I'll finish this, and I'm gonna get back. So, first of all, I think we would have replaced Duke as a 4 seed because Duke lost their first game in the ACC tournament, and if we would have went on a run with 4 straight, beating a Purdue and an Illinois on the way there, I think we would have jumped Duke. That's just my personal opinion. And I'm not cheering for that. I would have been fine with a 5 seed, honestly. I would have been like, dude, we're the Big Ten tournament champions, 5 seed, whatever. We're coming in hot. I still feel that way. Okay. Now,
Duke is 24.
I want to give credit to Shannon.
I finished number 13.
Yeah, but the sports world is such a "what have you done for me lately" kind of world, and them losing their first game of their tournament and us going on a run of 4 straight. That has to mean something.
Still have 5 more losses. That's a lot.
We had the second hardest schedule in the entire nation, man.
That's fair. I understand.
That's insane. So they got to give respect to that. And I feel like the committee cares more about wins. So 2 things real quick. 1, I want to give credit to Shannon and Domask. Those guys are good.
They earned their first team All Big Ten.
Yeah, those guys are good, right? Shannon obviously 34, 4-2, 8 of 15, 3 of 6 from the field. He had a couple big boy shots. He answered Max Klesmit's 3 with a 3 of his own, and he absolutely earned that roar that he gave off.
Yep.
I don't want people to think that we only love our teams, but I want to give credit to him because he is tremendous. And Domask, man, after the last game when they came to Madison and whooped our ass a little bit, and he beat up on Tyler Wall, I came up with the plan. I was like, I will put Max on him. Max is a little bit quicker. You have to have Chucky on Shannon, in my opinion. And I feel like he could get underneath him a little bit and kind of bother him that way. Well, Domask is just so smart. He's just like, you know what? You may be able to defend my shot, but I'm a little bit bigger than you, so I could look over the top of you and I could play make. So credit to him for doing that. I added their stats together and totaled them to the Illinois stats. Both of them together had 60 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. They had 64% of the team's points and 71% of the team's assists. Those 2 together, Illinois literally, like in my brain, has Final Four potential. Like I really feel
they have national championship potential. I'll go that far.
They're crazy. And a little quick tidbit before we're going to talk Bucks before we do this, but there are 21 schools in the NCAA that made a bowl game and the NCAA tournament. For all you Badgers fans that want to bitch and complain, we're one of them. We made a bowl game and the NCAA tournament. Only 21 teams did that, okay? James Madison did it as well, and we're a first-round matchup with them. But do not complain. Life could definitely be worse. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, Mike, what stood out to you from the Badgers in Illinois?
First and foremost, our boy Chucky Hepburn's playing the best ball of his career right now. He's my first takeaway.
Totally fair.
In my view, whether it's from the Purdue game and then coming back and putting on this hell of a performance, I mean, more so he scored in the second half specifically, hit some big shots, but he 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 6 of 6 from the free throw line, which we know how important that is. Facilitate the hell out of the ball. I was watching the game with my dad on Sunday, and literally every possession in the second half, I'm like, you got to go through Chucky. He doesn't have to score. But goddamn, I can guarantee you he can at least set somebody up for a good shot. I literally was screaming it from the mountaintop, probably from the last 10 minutes of that game, because it just seemed like he was controlling whatever he could do, he could get. Whether it was a good shot on his end or, again, set somebody up like an AJ Store, whoever else was cooking, the ball needed to be in his hands because good things were happening. And it's not, and that's been the last 2 games. Hell, even this whole Big Ten tournament, minus Northwestern, of course. But he's playing his best ball right now. And if any like Badger fan that watches these games as close as we are, I think they would say the same thing. He is having a great season already. Let's not get it twisted. Obviously, a shot. We thought he could maybe take a few more shots here and there, but I think once the Big Ten tournament started, something just clicked for him in terms of, okay, I need to
thirsty for blood.
Be a leader, and if there's a good shot, I'm going to take it. And I'm going to knock it down. He has that confidence now. I think going into the NCAA tournament. One hell of a performance, I thought. It sucked. It had to end this way, of course. It was a hell of a game, but man, he put on a great performance. I can't wait to see what he can do, in a couple days from now. And then I guess going into my second point, Illinois ended up shooting, 64%, I think, in the second half, specifically in this game, right? So when they did miss, when you give up those second chances, I feel like that's what really got us at the end of the day, right? So the Badgers did give up, unfortunately, 13 offensive rebounds. It did lead to, I think it was 13 second chance points as well for Illinois, which, when you're in a high-scoring game like this, basically throwing haymakers back and forth, the last thing you can't give up is, some of those second chance opportunities. I believe I can think of at least 2 3-pointers Illinois got in that second half. And I think they both might have been by Shannon, where, Illinois did get those offensive rebounds and they ended up getting open looks, right? So, I think giving up those second chance opportunities did cost us a little bit, but this was just a great college basketball game. I mean, shit. there's obviously we can clean some things up on defense, but again, Jake just pointed out the stats with Shannon and Domask, and it's kind of identical to what they did last game from a statistical standpoint. Domask could get to any of his spots, and he's very smart basketball player. He knows what he can and can't do. No matter if there's a guy like Klesman or Tyler Wall in his face, he's at least going to get a good shot up, and it may not even seem like a good shot, right? But it looks like, God damn, that thing's going in. But no, I think second chances, though, at the end of the day, I mean, we gave up, I think just 13. So, I mean, we lose this game by 4. I'm not going to say that's what really costed us this game, but it was a big part. Thank you. It was a big part of, I think, why we may have lost, but, it was still a great game.
So Greg Gard's quote at the end of the tournament was essentially, it sucks, stinks that we lost, it stings, but we were a better team leaving here than when we came in on Thursday. And that is a fantastic perspective. I love that from Greg Gard, and it's 1,000% true. Like, talking to people on Thursday before the Badgers were getting ready to play Maryland, and talking to people being like, hey, I don't have a lot of faith in the Badgers not being at home, even though it's a neutral game. And then they just beat the brakes off of Maryland. Then they beat Northwestern, who beat Purdue earlier in the year. They have the ability to beat anybody. Then they beat Purdue, and then they lose to Illinois by 6 points. One of the best offenses in the country, period. And the Badgers hung 87 points.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have a really hard time finding things to complain about over the course of the entire weekend. And Steve asked the question, with some of the latest suspect fouls we were issued, does Gard lean into the total disrespect stance? I think that's an interesting question. And I think he could. I don't think that he necessarily will, but I think you could. I think it's an aspect you could say, like, hey, we just played Purdue and Illinois, and we were, whistled for 40 fouls compared to the 26 fouls that our opponents were whistled for in those 2 games. Those aren't exact numbers. I'm just giving an example. Mm-hmm. And, that's what the committee that's what the official crew and that's what the NCAA thinks of us. They think that we're not a good enough team to be deserving of a favorable whistle. Like, you could lean into it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think that he will, but I think you could.
I don't think, for the most part, if you just look at, like, he's been here for 9 seasons now. The only time I can really remember him calling out officials was with the whole Brad Davison thing, with like taking, fouls and like taking charge fouls and like him making quote unquote dirty plays. And just like the officials just getting after him for it. So that's the only time I can really maybe think about when Greg Gard actually called out officials. But to answer this specific question, he just doesn't seem like the guy that's going to like get out at a post-game press conference and, address it. He addressed it in the locker room with the Purdue game, for example. How many of you fouled out? But he knows it's an issue. He does, from time, like a lot of people are just like, hey, I wish Greg Gard would just get a technical, right? Just to like get in the official's face. And hell, would it be the worst thing to me in my view? No. But he does get on officials a little bit. It's not like he's not standing there quiet with his arms crossed, just watching the game. He is being active, right? But
that's what you see on TV. But if you listen to the announcers, they will tell you when Greg Gard is yelling at officials. So people need to stop acting like he's just standing there quiet the whole game or just making mean faces. Like, he's talking to officials. He's saying things to officials. You just don't see it on television all the time.
True. Yeah. So I looked up the numbers real quick.
Okay.
The Badgers got called for 48 fouls. This is Purdue and Illinois.
Jesus.
48 fouls compared to 36 fouls. So a disparity of 12, which you're not even taking into consideration at this point. You're just looking at like whole numbers. You're not even taking into consideration the free throws, the foul situations, which obviously the Purdue game got really bad, really ugly.
Jeez.
And then, the timing of these fouls, because I feel like the timing of the fouls in the Illinois game was really the problem for me. It wasn't necessarily the foul calls, because that game was closely officiated. It was 20-19. Wisconsin had 20 and Illinois had 19.
I lean more towards the Purdue game with that.
True.
I think about it with the Purdue game where Stephen Crowell's 6th foul was the foul on Edey at the end of the game to put him on the free throw line to give the Badgers a chance to go to overtime. Yeah. Then in overtime, Tyler Wall fouls out and Nolan Winter fouls out. And what's funny to me is that the Badgers played 2 regular season games, a postseason game, and an overtime, and Zach Edey did not win a single jump ball.
That's a fun
against
fact.
Anybody, even our backup.
He lost 3 to Crowell and he lost 1 to Winter.
Damn.
Okay. Anything else you guys wanted to say on that before we get into a little bit of the March Madness discussion?
No, let's get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, what are your 2 goals for Friday and beyond should they advance?
So this first point is going to be more so addressed to, how do good teams, from a historical standpoint, we see good teams that have, gone far in the tournament, right? What I've noticed is that, they're playing their best ball in March. And on top of that, the guards are playing their best ball specifically. So my first point is Chucky buckets. So I kind of addressed it. Chucky's been playing his best ball. I want him to see him just flat out take over a game, whether that's James Madison, Vermont, Duke, whatever. We need to have that sort of assertiveness with Chucky Hepburn this weekend because he's playing like one of the best guards and point guards in college basketball right now.
I agree.
This past weekend, if you were to watch him, if you're watching him against Purdue, if you're watching him against Illinois, you cannot tell me he's one of the top point guards in basketball.
Yeah.
And between his aggressiveness would be on the offensive end and his defense, he put Braden Smith in a body bag, dude. And that dude's borderline all-American himself. Yeah. Credit to him.
Yep.
So I think we're going to see a very, obviously we talked about the clip with him before. We're going to see a locked-in dude who wants to make up for unfortunately getting hurt his freshman year against Iowa State. There's a monkey on his back, you can just tell, and he wants to, absolutely unleash.
Did you see when the Badgers got their seed announced that everybody's like cheering and high fiving?
Yeah.
And stuff? Chucky
That's a
Hepburn
clip I was
like,
kind of referring to. So he's locked in. He's ready to go. I cannot wait for him to absolutely perform because there's a chunk of this fan base that has also gotten on his case for the longest time. Whether that's from last year, being the final shot clock, taking the last second shots, or this year, being, passive or whatever it is. This guy's got a point to prove, I think, this year. I can't wait to see him absolutely just mangle people. And then number 2, this is pretty broad. Get through the weekend, win these 2 games. I think it's more than doable. Credit to James Madison for what they do. They got the win against Michigan State. I know we're probably going to talk more about that. I don't think Duke is Duke, personally. Vermont, have I watched the game? No. But I'm willing to bet that they're not. They haven't played a schedule nearly as close as what Wisconsin's been through this year. Again, we talked about adversity against Purdue specifically. Just overcoming all that, I think just what we've been through specifically this past weekend is preparing us for one hell of a run here. And I think Duke's not Duke. Again, JMU, credit to them. I just think we're better. Vermont, if we see you, great. We're going to beat you. So.
All right, Jake, what do you got for goals?
Great job, Mikey. Love both those goals. So for one, I have continued to play together, share the ball, take smart shots. Chucky and AJ, just keep taking what the defense is giving you. They're giving you the mid-range, take the mid-range. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, more specifically on Chucky buckets, which Mikey was talking about, I saw a tweet earlier this week, and it was talking about, Chucky Hepburn. 17.3 points per game. This is in the Big Ten tournament. He played 3 games. 17.3 points per game. 17 assists to 3 turnovers. I brought that up last week, and it's underrated in his game. That's 5.6 assists to every turnover, by the way.
How many steals?
2 steals per game.
Damn.
And the best part, he was 20 of 29 from the field. That is a 69% field goal percentage.
Nice.
God damn it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, I was like, there's zero chance I'm not saying the stat line on the show just because the last thing was field goal percentage. Like, it's happening now. So it's good.
That's in the notes in ink. Check.
In ink. And the next thing that's in ink, continuing to play together. The Badgers from three-pointer over the weekend were 40 of 99. That is a 40% clip, basically.
Yep.
Overall, they were 46.8% from the field, so almost 47% from the field. They shot 75% from the free throw line. They averaged 19 assists and 8 turnovers per game. They play like this version. They get this version of Chucky Hepburn. They're winning some games.
Straight up, listen. If that all happens consistently, the Badgers are They're a legit Final Four team.
100%. I got one last goal.
Okay.
I was a Cartoon Network kid myself growing up. Do you guys remember the show Dexter's Laboratory?
Dexter's Laboratory? Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I say laboratory because that's what we used to say.
Because that's how he says it, yep. Please, get out of my laboratory. I got you.
No, anyways, don't get me going. Don't get me going. So you guys know that meme where he says, stunt on these hoes? Coach Guard,
please send it.
I'm going to need you to stunt on these hoes. I need Coach Guard to show up and shut these people up. I am so sick and tired of the disrespect. This man can coach. This man can legit coach basketball. And if anybody's out there thinks that just by firing him, that the Wisconsin Badgers are going to turn into Purdue or turn into Arizona, absolutely not. He's the man for the job in Madison. Like Mike said, he's been here for 9 years. I had that written down too, so I appreciate you for the shout out. But Coach Guard, I need you to shut everybody up, man. Let's go out there and win some damn games.
My thing, as far as the Badgers go, is if you look at them play defense, like I don't see what you could have to complain about there.
100%.
And then you look at their totals of points that they put up.
Yeah.
87, 70, 76, and 87. Like, what is there to complain about with scheme here? What is there to complain about?
True.
Reggie said, I think it'll be cool to see Marquette versus Badgers for Elite Eight. Would have a nice ring to it. And that's the thing. And we'll talk about this a little bit later when Jake and I are going to talk about some brackets. We're going to talk about the Bucks first, and then we're going to kind of relax and just talk about March Madness and brackets and stuff and have a little fun with it. But the Badgers have a really interesting section where they can play teams they've beat, teams they've upset in previous years. You know, they could play Kentucky, they could play Houston, they could play Marquette, they could play Duke. Like, there's a lot of really interesting ways that this could go. So that said, my 2 goals, first of all, I came with a visual aid on one of them. And this goes directly into how James Madison is set up. Their biggest player is 6'9", I believe. They have a couple guys that are 6'10", 6'11", but they're like freshmen, so they're just getting there. But their biggest guys are 6'8" and 6'9". So my number 1 goal is for Steven Crowell to be aggressive. And I came with a visual aid because this is 3 straight possessions in the Illinois game. Steven Crowell scored the first 7 points of the second half for the Badgers against Illinois. And it's about him being aggressive.
Yak, yak.
Baby
him.
Just going to work, dude.
Yep. Baby him. You're my son now. He is now his son.
Steven Crowell, be aggressive, go to work. And as far as James Madison is concerned, he doesn't even have to only do it scoring. Steven Crowell, if he can post up on the block while Chucky Hepburn drives, take a drop step, seal your man, Chucky Hepburn's getting a layup.
The Gortat
uncontested.
Yeah.
So number 1, Steven Crowell, be aggressive. Number 2, everybody else be aggressive.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm dead serious. Everybody just be aggressive. Chucky Hepburn, better when he's aggressive. AJ Storr, better when he's aggressive. Max Klesmit, better when he's aggressive. Tyler Wall, better when he's aggressive. John Blackwell, better when he's aggressive. Kamari McGee and Carter Gilmore, they are better when they're aggressive because they are diving on the floor for loose balls. So my goals are literally Steven Crowell, be aggressive. Everybody else, be aggressive.
I like that. I'm with it.
Let's go Badgers. So if the Badgers win on Friday night, we'll probably either do a post or some videos for Sunday for what we're looking for from whoever the Badgers are going to face in the next round, should they get there. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, Mike, before we let you go, tell us who is winning the championship in your bracket.
Do you want the Final Four, or you just want the team that I
Give
got?
Me the Final Four. Give me the Final Four.
Give me the Final Four and the champs.
Yeah.
Okay. I got UConn on the East. Yeah. And I only picked them because of the fact of where they're playing. They're literally playing in Brooklyn, which is right by their home college area. And then they got to go to Boston. They basically have 4 to 5 home games or 4 home games leading up to the Final Four. That is a huge, huge part as to why I got UConn. If it was literally anywhere else in any region, I was going to take Illinois. I just think UConn's got the home court throughout the whole duration.
All right.
And I think that's just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't put Illinois in that spot. So
who's your other 3?
So I got Arizona coming out. And then I got Tennessee, who is my winner. And I got Kentucky in the other Final Four spot. It was very difficult. That being said, I'm going to be a man of my word. In the beginning of the year, I said Wisconsin to the Elite Eight. I got Wisconsin in the Elite Eight.
All right.
I do think, based with how well we're playing, and again, if our guard play, if Chucky keeps being Chucky, man, like, it's just, March Madness is different. When you get good guard play and your team is playing the best ball, I think that's a combination of making a deep-ass run. And you look at a team like Houston, they absolutely got their shit rocked against Iowa State.
49 points total in a game. That was wild.
Those dudes are vulnerable. Just watch them. It's like, all right, we can beat these guys if we play. Like, I get it. One bad game, whatever. But, when you have losses like this, I feel like around tournament time, it gets in your head a little bit. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know if I get a bad loss like that right before the tournament, the shit's gonna be might be in my head. I don't know. So I think Wisconsin's more than capable of making a run. Unfortunately, I didn't put him in the Final Four. I wanted to be ballsy and do it, but I think it's ballsy enough putting him in the Elite Eight because I guarantee you about 95% of this fan base did not put him that far. So I think we can do it, though.
So you
Alrighty.
you have Tennessee winning.
That is correct. Yeah.
I'm just going to give you a little stat. In the Ken Pom era, which is 21 years now, where it's became like a real thing, 20 of the 21 teams that have won the national championship have had blue as part of their uniform. The only team that did not was Baylor. Just a little random fact for you. I did pick a team that has blue in their uniform to win it, so I feel pretty good about it.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All righty, Mike. Well, best of luck in your bracket, and I'm sure we'll be talking all weekend. So
Hopefully,
we'll
I'm
be in
collecting
touch.
some money soon, boys. Yeah.
I hope that for you too, buddy.
Talk to you later, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Later.
All right. Hey, Tim, we're talking about the Bucks now.
All right.
All right. Bucks and 76ers. Jake, what's it out to you? We're going to talk about these two Bucks games, and then we're going to have some fun. We'll talk about brackets.
These two Bucks games. This one feels like it happened a long, long time ago because it kind of did. 6 days ago. And that was the last time we saw Giannis on a court, and we're not going to see him tonight either, which kind of sucks. But hopefully it's just like they're being cautious with him leading into the playoffs, which is what I thought anyways. When
give him some rest.
Whatever. He's earned it, right?
Yep.
They have plenty of games to spare for him to still make his All-NBA first team bid. So just wanted to get that out there. But 32, 11, and 7 for the guy, 9 of 12 in the field. Absolutely ridiculous. I agree with Reggie being safe. Damian Lillard was being Damian Lillard. We had no B's, no Middleton in this game. Brook Lopez was absolutely phenomenal in this game. I thought he was a little underrated. I still think that he's underrated. I don't think enough people give him enough credit. I think people are too harsh on Brook Lopez. That's just my opinion.
He doesn't score 20 a game, and he doesn't grab 10 rebounds a game.
Yeah.
If you're big and you don't do that, what are you doing?
People just don't look at numbers, in my opinion. But big shout out to AJ Green. Put in a career high 28 minutes in this one. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, and he played some great defense. He's really, really coming along nicely as a prospect, and exactly as Tyler and I keep talking about, that's literally all he is a prospect right now. But he's coming along great, and he's trending in the right direction to be a starting point guard in the NBA.
I have a paragraph this long written about AJ Green.
You want to cook right now?
Let me just say about AJ Green before I let you finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
AJ Green is getting better.
Yep.
And I stand by what I said about using him on nights that Malik Beasley's not playing well, or in this game sitting out with back spasms.
Mm-hmm.
But people need to be a little more patient. AJ is working hard defensively. He's not perfect there yet. He has his moments.
Mm-hmm.
The effort is 100% there. We can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, he's not a good defender yet. Overall, he's getting there, and the effort is there. So I think he can be a good defender in the future. Right now, like Jake said, still a prospect. This is my thing. It seems like people are so desperate to rush his development that I don't want people to be set up for failure because you are raising your expectations too quickly and too high too quickly.
Yeah.
People are already trying to force him into the starting lineup over Malik Beasley instead of letting things progress and, just being patient with things and letting him grow instead of, letting him develop instead of just forcing him into spots that he will eventually grow into.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake and I have talked about this a little bit about, Malik Beasley is still here this year, but he's only on a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So you let AJ Green grow for the rest of this year. You let him grow a little bit in the playoffs, especially if you can get some playoff minutes for him if the Bucks, get a favorable matchup in the first round. Then you look at maybe grooming him to be the starter for 2024, 2025. We don't need to try to force a guy into the starting lineup after 80% of the season is over.
True.
Okay, continue.
So I just wanted to point out two more things. The points off turnovers that the Bucks had in this game was fucking insane. One of the biggest reasons that they won this game. And for everybody that complains, because we went from De'Aaron Fox to Tyrese Maxey, who are two of the quickest and have two of the best float games in the NBA. They're hard to guard. They literally fucking do that to everybody, dude.
They are all-stars for a reason. Like Fox, I don't think Fox was an all-star this year. I don't think
But
he might have
was
been an
last year.
alternate, but he's been an all-star. And Tyrese Maxey, we've talked about him. If you watch our show, you know that we've talked about Tyrese Maxey and how high of a regard we hold him in.
Right. Dude, they're both fast, like super fast. They
Like
both can
literally,
shoot from
De'Aaron
distance.
Fox is literally the fastest guy in the NBA. I have no hesitation saying it.
Right. They both can shoot from distance,
Yep.
and they both have float games. They're hard to guard.
They are
So for
fast
everybody
Trae
freak
Youngs
out-
with better defense.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm going to get to. The ultimate goal for this team is going to be Bucks versus Celtics, right? Which we're going to get a little itty-bitty preview, kind of baby preview tonight, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be.
Not a real one, but we got Middleton back, which is nice.
Well,
And
Holiday and Hauser aren't playing for the Celtics yet.
yeah, I know, I saw. That was kind of the point I was getting to.
Okay.
Is these guys are quick guards who can score, and they're looked as scorers, right? Tyrese
Mhm.
Maxey's literally at a 50-point game. I mean,
Especially with
this
Embiid
season.
out.
Yeah, with this season, he's looked at as like a number one option with Embiid out. So when you look at the Celtics, do they have a quick guard on their team that's going to be looked at to score? I mean, do they? I mean, Jaylen Brown is pretty quick, but he's more of a bully ball kind of guy, in my opinion.
He can only go one way.
Getting to his spot and raising up, right?
Derek Zoolander can't turn left.
So that problem that we have with those quick guards is not going to be a problem against the Celtics. That's not something that we're going to talk about. Now, the Celtics do present other problems for this Bucks team in different areas, but
Right.
that specific one that everybody likes to point out is not what we need to worry about against Boston. I just want to say that right now. So that's all I got to talk about. Bucks and 6. What do you got?
So Tyrese Maxey actually started this game 2 for 2 from the three-point line, and the Bucks went on an 11-0 run right after that. The Bucks made 4 of 4 of their first threes. In the first quarter, Giannis also became the second all-time for the Milwaukee Bucks in steals.
Yep.
And a 7-0 run put the Bucks up 24-19. The Sixers finished on a 10-0 run after the Bucks went up by 29-24. So 6 lead changes in the first quarter, kind of a back and forth. And naturally, people spent the whole first half on social media going, "Oh, I can't believe we're going to lose to a Philly team that doesn't have Embiid." How many times have we done this? How many times have we done this in the first half of a basketball game, the first half of a football game, the first 5 innings of a baseball game? How many times have we told people to wait until the game is over?
Tyler, we would both own Lamborghinis by the amount of times we've had to have
Bro, I'd own Lambeau Field at this point. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
So the Bucks had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. Or sorry, 76ers had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. Almost started with 6. And Giannis got caught up in the double team a little bit. And those couple turnovers kept the Bucks from getting the lead back. Philly got a lead up to 10 points, and that's when people naturally, the whining started, as if the game isn't 48 minutes and it's only 22.
Yep.
That said, AJ Green hit 2 threes, and he worked hard on defense against Buddy Hield. The Bucks as a team completely cranked up the defense, forced a shot clock violation, and the offense ticked up after that. The Bucks went on a 7-0 run. Going into the second half, they were down by 8 points. They started the third quarter on a 7-0 run. Got the lead down to 3. Brook Lopez hit a 3 that cut the lead down to 2. Patrick Beverley hit the 3 that gave the Bucks a 1-point lead on a 16-5 run. So Philly hit a 3. Pat Connaughton hit one right back. And then the Bucks had a couple turnovers that let Philly get up 5 points. But a great cut by Pat Connaughton and a great pass by Giannis Antetokounmpo to hit him for a buzzer beater right before the third quarter ended, and the Bucks were down 3 going into the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, Bobby was quiet until Giannis went onto the bench and back-to-back buckets. And the second came after a Brook Lopez block. And right after that, AJ Green was scoring. While Giannis was getting rest, the Bucks had a 14-3 run that was capped by another Bobby Portis bucket. They went on a 14-3 run with Giannis on the bench.
Bobby's going into playoff mode too now.
Dude, Bobby's going into like 6 man of the year mode.
This shit. He needs, man. We need it.
And it's awesome. It's so fun to watch. The Bucks got up by as many as 8. Philly had the lead, cut down to 3. And then with 2 minutes left, the Bucks went into a 2-man game with a lot of Damian Lillard and Brook Lopez, which surprisingly, looking at NBA numbers, they are ranked surprisingly high in a lot of statistics with those two.
Yeah, Brooks sets really good screens and allows, Dame to get some space.
And the Bucks score a lot of points when those two are on the floor together.
Yeah.
So with that, Damian Lillard hit a mid-range shot. Brook Lopez hit a super deep 3. In the final 2 minutes and 11 seconds, the Bucks outscored the 76ers 12-6.
That's good stuff.
Now, let me throw this out there. The way that Philly defended Giannis, they did a lot of double teaming. Mm-hmm. It is beneficial to him and to the Bucks to have him playing off the ball.
Yep.
To get experience playing off the ball. And we can transition into the Suns game because people said some really out-of-pocket stuff.
Oh, my God.
Dude, first things first. I cannot believe that this has to be said. The Bucks are not a better team without Giannis.
Why?
Dude, can we normalize not saying that the teams are better off without somebody if they win a game without somebody?
That's literally like saying you run faster by only hopping on one leg.
Dude,
okay.
All of these players are in the NBA. All of them. I don't care what your opinions are of them. They are all in the NBA.
Yep.
So you are literally saying that by rotational players not being in the game and the Bucks still winning, that they were somehow a better team without that player just because they won? How about if you just add Giannis to a team that just scored 140 points against a contender?
I mean, that works for me.
Now, listen, I understand that probably takes some minutes away from Bobby Portis. It might take some touches away from Damian Lillard. That doesn't mean Damian Lillard plays better without Giannis. They're literally one of the best duos in the NBA, if not the best duo in the NBA.
Damian Lillard is paid like a superstar.
He is.
He played like he was paid, right?
He is.
That's what he's paid to do. That's what he's known for. He's a top 75 fucking player. He did all of that before teaming up with Giannis, and now he's with him. Why the hell are we dragging either of them? That makes zero sense to me. That doesn't make sense.
My point was Giannis playing off the ball does work well because then he can play off the ball while Damian Lillard is leading the team. That's what Giannis has been asking Damian Lillard to do.
100%. And, you go back to other super teams. You go back to the Warriors with Curry and Durant. Curry had to learn to play off ball, and now he absolutely kills whether he has the ball or he doesn't have the ball. It literally just made him a better player.
He's insane.
I mean, you look at the Miami Heat back in the day, right? I'm just saying I miss Grayson Allen. I mean, I'm fine with Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley plays a little bit more consistent defense, and he still shoots really good three-pointers.
Yeah.
Grayson Allen's having a great year. Good for him. He played good for us. Thank you for your time. Move on to Phoenix. Yep. We have Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley's been awesome. Okay, next. So, sorry, I was just responding to a comment. If you're listening back to this, Reggie made a comment saying that he misses Grayson Allen. So, getting back to my point here, I'm gonna start covering this game. I got some stuff to say.
Do it.
So, Damian Lillard has 31, 5, and 16 assists. He was cooking. He had 12 assists in the first half. Yeah, stupid, right? He's the first Buck ever with 30 points and 15 assists in a game. Yeah, it's so dumb. He tied his career high with 16 assists, which he's done 4 times now. And I found this interesting because I was just looking it up because I was like, oh, wow, that was his career high. So I was like, I want to see his career highs, right? So I looked up the last time that he had 16 assists. You think this one was good? The last time he did it was in 2021, February 17th in 2021. He did it against the Pelicans. He had 43 points and 16 assists. What? Like efficient 43. I was like, Jesus.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So, wow. Yeah. Chris Middleton came back today. Not today, on Sunday.
I knew what you meant.
But Chris Middleton was awesome, making big time shots. He looked like he didn't miss a beat. Obviously, they're going to have to amp up his minutes, as time goes on towards the end of the season. But, playing him in the role that he's playing, Doc hasn't got enough credit in my opinion. Now, I
I
understand
agree.
that he has a crazy roster, but finding the happy medium between playing Chris with Dame and playing Chris with Giannis is going to be something that's going to be kind of difficult for him. But if you're going to ask a guy to do that, you got to ask a guy that's been with super teams before, been with super talented teams, and he's going to be just fine at it. But having Chris Middleton back obviously is, a treat in itself.
Yeah.
And then you get into guys like Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder was on a heater for a second.
Dude, give him his flowers.
And he was balling, dude. He was playing defense. He was talking shit. And that's the Jay Crowder we need. Patrick Beverly came over here, and he's got everybody acting crazy, bro. He's got everybody acting out. I mean, Bobby
Jay Crowder just raining threes.
Malik Beasley 5 threes, Jay Crowder 4 threes, Brook Lopez 2, Chris Middleton 2, Damian Lillard 4. The Bucks shot 24-41 from the three-point line. They made 18 in the first half. That's tied an NBA record.
Yeah.
Their 140 points was the most under Doc.
Yep.
And a couple more things real quick before I give you the floor. I'm sorry if I'm taking everything here.
You're good.
They had 81 points. 82 points in the first half. Their previous high was 81, which they did against Detroit on December 16th. That ties for the fourth highest total in team history in a first half. Their highest, their team record, was 88 in 2020 versus the Wizards. You know who is in two of those in both those games? This game and the game against the Wizards? Bradley Beal. So that guy has to hate the Bucks. Just got to say that out loud.
That game, if I'm not mistaken, was that the game that Beal had 52 and Middleton had 50?
I didn't look that far into it. I just saw that we scored 88 against them, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Bradley Beal hates the Bucks, dude.
I mean, if the Bucks had 88 at halftime, I could see that being a game where Chris Middleton had 50.
So Bobby Portis, last thing. Bobby Portis had 25 in the first half. He was, and in my house, so if you guys vote and we do a watch party for a Bucks game, you're going to hear me say Big Bobby, because I don't know why, but that's just what I say, okay? I call him Big Bobby. He wears the headband. That's Bobby Portis, man. I love Bobby Portis. His 25 were the second highest he's ever had in the first half in his career. The most he ever had in his career in the first half was 28. He had 28 points in the first half for the Chicago Bulls back in 2019, and they traded him. That is why the Bulls are the Bulls.
Oof. Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Reggie said Bobby Buckets, man. That's also the highest total in any first half of this season. At 25 points.
Yep.
I just have in my notes.
There's
all
few
caps.
things. Real quick. There's few things that give you energy like Bobby Portis going on a run, dude. Honestly.
He's something. He's like a one-man momentum changer. So I have in my notes in all caps that Bobby Portis was going nuclear. Dude, he just everything went in for him. Yeah. Going crazy. Chris Middleton got back. He was playing actually pretty good defense as well as scoring efficiently. Like he didn't look like he's missed a game. No. He looked like he's in midseason form. And we'll get to see tonight if that was just kind of, maybe the energy of being back or if he's like legit in midseason form. And if that is the case, like if Chris Middleton plays another efficient game tonight and tomorrow night, we need to have the conversation of the Bucks coaching staff doing the absolute right thing by Chris Middleton by holding him out as long as they did to have his conditioning ready before he started playing games.
100%.
The coaching staff will absolutely need credit for that.
Yep.
So put a pin in that, keep an eye on it, put it in the back of your mind, but be able to recall it if Chris Middleton plays really efficiently and continues to grow his minutes over the rest of the regular season, because we will come back to this Bucks and Suns game and say the Bucks handled his injury really well.
Yeah, they did.
So also want to give credit to Pat Connaughton because the amount of people that said, all he does is just run and jump at people at the three-point line, not understanding that the phrase when it comes to basketball is literally running people off the three-point line. Pat Connaughton blocked a three-point shot in this game, and he didn't just block any three-point shot. He didn't block, Patty Mills or Isaiah Thomas. He blocked Kevin Durant.
Bro, that's like one of the most unguardable jumpers of all time.
dude, it's top 3, I would say.
Easily.
So Pat Connaughton blocked a 3-point shot by Kevin Durant, which turned into a Jay Crowder 3, which he made a lot of them. And
He did.
The threes that he made at the end of the game too did not touch the rim. Just straight lace.
Yeah.
On his threes. Chris Middleton hit a 3 over KD as well. He started 3 for 3 from the field. Bobby Portis obviously going crazy. It was a little contagious. I mean, AJ Green hit his first 3. Malik Beasley and Damian Lillard, Pat Beverly, they were all hitting threes, and they were all giving effort on defense. That stood out to me. Dame had a double-double in the first half already.
Yeah.
14 and 12, and with those 12 assists, only 1 turnover at halftime.
Yep.
The Bucks got off to a little bit of a slow start in the third quarter, but Chris Middleton made 3 straight shots, and some of the shots that he made were just insanely tough mid-range shots with pretty good defense on him.
Yeah.
But with him being 6'8", if he were 6'4", he's not making those shots.
Agreed.
They're maybe getting blocked, or he's not going to see the rim as clearly. So him being 6'8" and hitting those shots was a good job. Phoenix did close the gap a little bit. Credit to Bradley Beal. He did a really good job getting to the basket, and he's good. That's why he's paid pretty closely to the same amount of money as Damian Lillard.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's really good. Bobby Portis didn't score in the third quarter, but scored twice to start the fourth quarter. Phoenix again had it close. Chris Middleton hit some tough jumpers, and Jay Crowder really clutch. Now, the Bucks did not miss a free throw. They only gave up 3 second chance points, which is probably the lowest that I've ever seen. No, that's not. They had a couple times where they didn't allow any. But 16 points off turnovers, which is kind of on the fringe of where I'm happy to see it. 19 fundamental failure points. That is the lowest that I have ever seen in a basketball game. 140 points, and they played well fundamentally. This was, I mean, you add Giannis to this, and you're talking about the perfect game.
Yeah.
I really believe that. And even with Phoenix coming back a little bit in the second half, which we've said this 100 times, and people know this, basketball is a game of runs. Teams are going to go on runs, So leads aren't safe, and I don't care how much you're up by, especially if it's against a good team. The game's not over. Like, the other team isn't going to stop trying to score because you're up by 20 points.
Bro, we literally just talked about this last week, all the 20-point comebacks in the NBA this year. It's over 30. So, I mean, the Bucks are up by 20 plus for a good margin of this game. Phoenix is going to try to come back. The three-pointer is the ultimate equalizer, and now more than ever it's being used. And the thing that people don't understand is with the spacing, you get more people to the rim, which obviously is a better shot because there's all these spacing, there's all these people, less people in your way. You get more one-on-one opportunities. So,
and when you start sucking down, then you have open three-point shooters, and the Suns have a bunch of them.
And a team that's as talented as Phoenix, as many shot makers as they have, perfectly capable of making one of those 20-point comebacks.
Yeah.
They didn't do it against us. The Bucks played good. Giving them credit for that.
Yep. All right. So the Bucks play Boston tonight. They play Brooklyn tomorrow. They play Oklahoma City Sunday, which we're going to do a watch party for. So join us for that. And then they play the Lakers on Tuesday. I'm going to say the Bucks go 2-2. I had this originally, with if Giannis was playing tonight. I still think without Giannis, even though Drew and Sam Hauser aren't going to play for Boston, I think still being in Boston gives them enough of an advantage. And then I hate to say it, I think Oklahoma City is going to want to come and make a point on Sunday.
See, I think the opposite. I think that, I do think that they'll lose tonight, as much as it pains me to say it out loud. Playing in Boston is not for the faint of heart. That is probably the hardest place to play. Just the fact
in the NBA,
in the NBA, how that crowd gets on top of you, the home, it's loud in there, and then the talent level of that team, and they obviously play better at home. Everybody does, but that's a tough place to play, so they'll probably lose that one.
Yeah,
I play tomorrow night versus Brooklyn. They'll win that one, and you know what? I think the Bucks are starting to take this shit serious. Giannis talked a lot during this season about we have to stop just going through the motion and thinking that we're going to win every game because of our talent. I think they're locked in. And there's quotes from Bobby Portis that you've brought up on the show about, he's watched the most defensive film that he's ever watched his entire life this season. So I think the Bucks are taking this season seriously. They realize that it's almost go time. So I have them going 3-1, and they're going to get a little revenge on the Lakers on Tuesday. So I'm
With
feeling
that.
3-1.
I like it. All right. So now that we've talked Bucks, let's have some fun. Let's kick back a little bit. Let's talk about brackets. Now, we are doing a challenge with Cardboard Legacy, sponsor of the show, on the bracket. Easy, settle down over there.
I was just getting ready.
So what I want to do is I'm going to reveal Nick and Riley, the dudes over at Cardboard Legacy. Nick's the owner. Riley's like his main dude. The two of them are going against Jake and I. Loser has to post a profile picture that they lost the bracket challenge to the other one. And I'm going to give you Nick and Riley's Final Fours and their champions, and then Jake and I will reveal ours. And then I did not tell Jake this, but I have some fun brackets for us to play.
I'm with it.
All right, so I'm going to do Nick's first. Nick's Final Four is UConn, Marquette, Tennessee, and Arizona.
I don't hate that Final Four.
I mean, it's totally feasible.
Yep.
He has UConn beating Marquette in the championship.
Totally understandable. I could see it. If Tyler Kolek comes back, Marquette's a monster team.
Tyler Kolek has practiced in full all week and is ready to go.
Marquette is a dangerous team.
Yeah.
Him and Cam Jones are disgusting together.
And also Iguodala is a beast.
Iguodala is a very good player.
Now looking at Riley's bracket. Riley's Final Four also has UConn, also has Arizona, also has Tennessee, but instead of Marquette, he has Marquette losing in the Elite Eight, and he has Houston as his other Final Four team. Then he has UConn beating Houston in the championship. So both Nick and Riley have UConn winning the championship. And have a good night, Tim. And you and I can reveal our Final Fours to see, what they're going to look like. So, all right.
Let me get on there. You give yours first.
All right. So I'm going to be totally transparent with you. My bracket is super upset heavy. And knowing that we're doing a 2v2 and having, like a mix of things is probably going to be better.
Mm.
I have a weird Final Four. Not a totally weird one, but I have Iowa State, Arizona, Kentucky, as much as it pains me, and I have Tennessee. I have Tennessee beating Iowa State in the championship.
Okay.
I went really outside the box just to maybe give you and I some more options. If UConn loses in the first weekend, Nick and Riley are done. They both have UConn as their championship, so they're done. Reggie said UConn, North Carolina, Houston, and Kansas. I don't trust Kansas.
I don't trust Kansas either, man. Didn't they just lose somebody too?
They've been upset feels like 5 times this year. But Kansas could also win it all. So
true. Okay, hang on here. Once this stinking thing loads. Okay.
You want me to just pull up your bracket for you?
Nope, I have it right here. So let me get to the Final Four here. It's scrolling here. Okay, so Final Four. I have this is crazy, bro. So in the Final Four, I have UConn,
Okay.
Arizona.
Okay.
Then I have Wisconsin versus Purdue.
Oh, Wisconsin, Purdue 4, bro. Wow.
So I picked UConn to beat Arizona, and this hurts so bad because I hate them this year. I picked Purdue to beat Wisconsin to go to the championship, and then I picked UConn to beat Purdue in the title.
That's
I
tough.
just, man, when I was reading, I was kind of skim reading, but because there's so many games, I was reading a little bit about each game, and man, UConn is they're literally good at every facet of the game. And I remember listening to a sports radio talk show after UConn played Marquette, and Marquette was without Kolek at the time, but the game was at home. That was the game that LaFleur and Eberflus went to. And Shaka Smart gave UConn a lot of credit for their ability to create shots, like create high level and shots off of second chance points. He said it's not just a rebound and a kick out. He said if they reset it up, they're so well coached that they understand we're going to set it up. We're going to run our best play now. And he's like, they got 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So UConn is just a very well coached team. They're better than they were last year, and they won the whole damn thing last year. So
That's fair.
It's hard to go against them, and I understand that that's the popular pick right now. And it's March, and nobody knows a damn thing. So
Right.
who knows?
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. It'll be fun. I hope we beat the guys from Cardboard Legacy, so they have to put our logo on their page.
I agree.
All right. So Jake does not know what these are, but I have 4 fun brackets, just random things that we're going to do brackets for, and we're going to start with cartoons.
Oh gosh.
All right, now I'm going to be straight up with you. This top bracket, it's Hanna-Barbera cartoons. This is going to be tough.
I don't know anything.
I mean, we can start with the easy ones, like Fred Flintstone versus Magilla Gorilla. I don't even know who that is, so I'm just putting Fred Flintstone winning that one.
I agree.
Huckleberry Hound and Top Cat. I don't know what either of those are.
I'm just going to go with Huckleberry because he has a great name.
Okay, I'm just going to go Huckleberry there. Okay. Shaggy versus Hong Kong Phooey. That's an easy one.
Agreed.
It's easy, Shaggy. Yogi Bear versus Quick Draw McGraw. It's another
Quick Draw McGraw, bro.
I don't even know who that is, bro.
Okay.
Barney versus Dexter. I think we got to go with the upset here. And it's hilarious that you gave a Dexter's Laboratory reference earlier in the show.
I'm with it, dude.
So we're going Dexter. George Jetson versus Boo Boo.
I mean Jetson, bro. Come on. They were living in the future, bro.
Dude, this right here is the toughest matchup in the entire tournament.
What do you got?
Tom and Jerry versus Johnny Bravo.
Ooh, they're pulling at the heartstrings with that one, dude.
Dude, that is the toughest one in the whole thing. Like, I'm going to go Tom and Jerry, but that's so tough.
Okay, I will digress because I'll pick one later, but I do love me some Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo's funny. It's funny to watch. Here's the thing. No matter who wins, you're not getting past Scooby-Doo.
I'm with it.
So, do you want to finish the Hanna-Barbera section, or do you want to do the whole first round and then do the second round?
I always finish one section at a time.
Okay. So, we got Fred Flintstone versus the Huckleberry Hound. Again, still don't know who the Huckleberry Hound is, so that's moving on. Shaggy and Yogi Bear.
Shaggy, bro.
Yeah, Shaggy. Dexter and the Jetsons.
Dexter, bro. Easy.
And Scooby-Doo carries.
Scooby. Easy.
All right. Shaggy and Fred Flintstone.
Shaggy.
I agree. I was gonna say, like, I feel a little bit that like the Flintstones were just like a little bit ahead of our time. Like, I feel like if we were 2 years older, this would be tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Dexter and Scooby-Doo.
I lean Dexter, but I'll let you make that decision.
I'm gonna be straight up. Like, this one is also a really tough matchup, but I'm gonna be straight up, and I'm gonna say that I'm almost willing to put Scooby-Doo as a Final Four, probably in the championship, maybe as the all-time.
So we're gonna get Shaggy versus Scooby, bro.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
And now here, okay, so this is my thing. This is cartoons, so I get that this is the thing. If this was live action, I'd pick Shaggy, but because it's cartoons, I'm leaning Scooby.
I'm with it.
All right. Scoob in the Final Four. All right. 90s and 2000s, Homer Simpson and Sterling Archer.
I mean, Homer.
Yeah, that was an easy one. This is tough, too. Beavis and Butthead versus Patrick.
Oh!
That's tough. That's like the hardest 8-9 matchup ever.
I'm going to say Beavis and Butthead.
Really?
I am. My dad loved that. I watched it a lot.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm going to say Beavis and Butthead.
I'm a little surprised by that by you. All right.
This is the bracket that I can do, LMAO. I'm with it, Taylor.
Okay. I just want to pull this up so that I can see the comments also. Next is Bart Simpson and Dr. Zoidberg. I don't know what Dr. Zoidberg is.
He's from Futurama.
That would be why I don't know. I never watched that show.
Bart Simpson is legendary, man.
Taylor said, what's the face-off? This one is just for fun. Cartman versus Jake the dog.
I mean, do I have to?
I got you. Yeah. Stewie versus Cleveland.
Stewie, bro, come on.
That's an easy one. Peter Griffin versus the Powerpuff Girls. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Powerpuff Girls at 14 is disrespectful.
It is. That was a great show. My little sister used to watch that show. That's a great show. Mojo Jojo. But you know what it is. It's Peter.
I know what it is. Okay, Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Bob Belcher. That's tough, but I'm gonna say Dr. Doofenshmirtz, and I actually know what that one is because that's like Perry the Platypus's arch nemesis.
Oh, I didn't even know. So that's you.
I didn't watch Bob's Burgers, so bro, this is also disrespectful. Ren and Stimpy is a 15 seed.
Wow. I mean, they were late at night, I guess, but
and they're I'm gonna not be honest with you, like they're kind of a sketchy cartoon.
Yeah.
But you don't beat SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Homer Simpson versus Beavis and Butthead.
Homer. He's legend. He's an icon, dude.
All right. Bart Simpson versus Cartman.
Both disrespectful little kids, but to me, Cartman wins.
Yeah, I agree. Cartman carries a little bit more. Bart's a side character. Cartman's a main character. Mm-hmm. Peter versus Stewie.
I'm gonna say Peter Griffin.
All right, I'll allow
it. My heart wants to say Stewie.
I kind of lean Stewie at first too.
My heart says Stewie.
Okay, think about it. What are your favorite Family Guy moments?
I can't say them because most of them are Quagmire, and he's very a bad person.
Okay. think a little harder. What about like when you and I would watch Family Guy and chairs would get broken at your house?
Okay, that's because of Brennan, first of all. But I'm gonna say Stewie. I have an episode in my head, and it's gonna be Stewie.
All right. SpongeBob clears easily.
Easy.
Homer and Cartman. That's an interesting one.
I'm gonna let you pick this one because
God, I was just gonna say that I defer to you.
All right, I'll pick this one. You can pick the next one. Homer or Cartman? Oh God. I'm gonna really show people a bad side of me, but I'm saying Cartman.
All right, I'm okay.
He's got a lot of quotable sayings, dude.
Dude, SpongeBob and Stewie?
That's epic, bro.
Dude, that's like childhood versus like young adulthood.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. The resurgence that like SpongeBob is making just on like social medias, where it's like revealing like we didn't pay attention to it because we were kids as much, but like there's actually a lot of really funny shit in SpongeBob. I'm leaning SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'm with it.
SpongeBob and Cartman.
SpongeBob
and Scooby-Doo.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think SpongeBob. You're talking all time? Time?
I mean, listen. So
dude, the Krusty Krab pizza alone, dude.
You come home after school, right? And you're scrolling, you're like, man, there's nothing on. And then you go to Nickelodeon and you see that SpongeBob is on. It's like, all right.
Yeah. I mean, you're fine. I mean,
it's like all reliable.
Yeah. Come on, man. I can get down to that song all day.
All right. Looney Tunes bracket. Bugs Bunny. That's an easy one. Yeah, Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam. That's actually a really good 8-9 matchup.
I'm an Elmer Fudd guy.
All right. I'm with it. Taz versus Foghorn Leghorn. That's another good one too.
Oh, that's so good. One. I like Foghorn Leghorn, bro. He's hilarious to me, but Tasmanian Devil's good too. I'm good with either of those.
Lemony Fresh. Porky Pig versus Michigan J Frog. Courtney loves that frog from Looney Tunes.
Does she?
Yeah, she thinks like when he's like does the top hat singing and dancing, she thinks that's funny.
You can pick that for Courtney. I don't care.
I'm down. I'm not mad at it. I'll tell Courtney that the 13 seed Michigan Frog won against Porky Pig. Reggie said Porky Pig. Sorry, Reggie. 13 seeds taking the upset. Bro, Wile E. Coyote and Marvin Martian at 6'11". That's tough.
That's tough. I would pick Wile E. Coyote.
I agree. Tweety versus Speedy Gonzalez. Speedy Gonzalez at 14 seems a little disrespectful.
It does, but Tweety's beast. She gives a lot of she. Is that a boy?
I would say I think Tweety's a boy.
Yeah, I think it's a boy. Gives a lot of funny moments.
Sylvester and Roadrunner at the 7 and 10. I'll be honest with you, I lean Roadrunner.
I'm with Roadrunner. Beep beep.
Daffy Duck and Pepe Le Pew. Didn't Pepe Le Pew get canceled?
I mean, it's Daffy Duck, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Reggie said Roadrunner for that one as well, so he agreed with that. Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. Bugs Bunny wins every time.
Bugs Bunny's going to the Final Four, bro.
And he also wins here. Taz versus the Frog.
Taz. I'm sorry, Corey.
Wile E. Coyote versus Tweety. Like, I'm kind of leaning Wile E. Coyote here.
I'm with that, too.
6 seed making it to the Sweet 16. I like it.
Daffy Duck, bro.
Roadrunner and Daffy Duck. I'm going to be honest with you. This one's tough.
I mean, Roadrunner's funny, but I'm a Daffy Duck guy, dude. He's hilarious. His false confidence just always gets me.
All right. Bugs Bunny and Taz. That's easy. Bugs Bunny carries.
You don't even have to ask me, bro.
Wile E. Coyote and Daffy Duck.
That's tough.
So if I go strictly based off of like what I've laughed at more, like I kind of lean Coyote.
I'm with it.
6 seed to the Elite 8. Look at that. Now, this is where the buck stops because Bugs Bunny's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes.
Agreed.
Reggie said Daffy Duck. He picked Daffy Duck over Wile E.
Oh,
Coyote.
really? I would have picked Coyote too. I love Coyote.
All right, now we're on to classics. So Mickey Mouse and Mr. Magoo. Fat Albert and Rocky and Bullwinkle.
What? Fat Albert, bro?
That's tough.
I picked Fat Albert, dude. That's funny as shit.
All right. Goofy and Pink Panther.
Goofy. I like Goofy.
Reggie said Mickey to the finals. We'll get there.
Maybe.
Goofy or Pink Panther. I could see an upset on this one.
I was never a big Pink Panther guy. That's why I picked Goofy, but you could pick.
I'm fine with Goofy. I mean, for the amount of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse that my oldest daughter watched when she was younger. I'm going to put Betty Boop on here just for my grandma because that was her favorite.
I'm with it.
Felix the Cat and Donald Duck. This one, I'm going to be honest with you, I would go with the underdog on this one and go with Donald Duck.
I go Donald Duck.
Popeye and underdog.
Come on, man. I need to eat my spinach.
Charlie Brown and Woody Woodpecker.
I'm a Woody Woodpecker guy.
Agreed. Snoopy's easy one here. I'm not even going to ask your opinion. Mickey Mouse and Fat Albert.
Mickey Mouse. Clearly.
Goofy and Betty Boop.
I'm going to let you make that choice.
I'm okay with Goofy. I understand it. Donald Duck and Popeye. I kind of lean Donald Duck, to be honest with you.
What'd you say?
I lean Donald Duck.
All right, I'm with Donald Duck. I like Donald Duck.
All right, Woody Woodpecker and Snoopy. Again, not asking your opinion. Don't care. Goofy and Mickey Mouse.
Come on. It's Mickey.
Again, not asking your opinion. Now, this one I'm going to ask your opinion. Mickey Mouse and Snoopy. Now, I'm going to lean Snoopy, bro.
Really?
Snoopy rocks.
Okay, you can put Snoopy. Let's get Snoopy in there.
Okay, here's the thing. It doesn't matter who won that one. Because it's Bugs Bunny.
Bro, we got a monster showdown right now. SpongeBob versus Bugs Bunny.
This Final Four. This Final Four ended up being Scooby-Doo, SpongeBob SquarePants, Snoopy, and Bugs Bunny.
That's disgusting.
And now we're looking at SpongeBob SquarePants and Bugs Bunny.
Holy cow.
So recency bias says SpongeBob SquarePants, but if we're being honest, the best cartoon of all time is Bugs Bunny.
Ooh, that's tough. I don't know about that. SpongeBob, like you said, man, a great point. It's so like it's memeable, I guess, if that's a word.
True.
It's so good. They got so many quotable lines, dude. Like, oh my god! Like when I first met, so random, but whatever. When I first met my girlfriend's name is Chantel. When I first met Chantel's dad, I was like, bro, he laughs like fucking Mr. Krabs, dude. Like He laughed just like Mr. Krabs, bro. And I was like, bro, that's so funny.
Reggie said SpongeBob, don't do him dirty.
I would lean SpongeBob, bro. I really would.
All right, I'll allow it.
I would lean SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. All right.
Fire. I've turned that on the TV myself recently.
All right, so I'll be totally transparent. That is the longest one that I had, the biggest one. The rest of these are a little bit smaller. Let's do this one next. So this one is one that I just like kind of felt that we had to do just because it's like a necessary one to do during, bracket time. If you're going to do a bracket, you have to do one of these. So the next one that I have is the fast food bracket.
Ooh.
So I found this from Punting with the Bases Loaded, which is a funny name for a show, which I don't know. Maybe you have to reach out and be like, hey, who are you guys? What do you do? But we have the fast food bracket. So let's start at the top left again. And McDonald's and Burger King, to have this as a first round matchup is tough.
I mean, I'm leaning McDonald's. Give me a McChicken and a chocolate shake all day.
I mean, if you think about it too, like when we were growing up, how many times did we go to open gym or 2 open gyms in a row and then go and get 49-cent cones?
Yeah, every time.
Wendy's and White Castle. This one's an easy one for me. I'm going Wendy's.
Wendy's is so underrated, dude.
I agree. Their beef is good.
Yeah.
Whataburger and Five Guys.
I'm a Five Guys guy too.
Smash Burger and In-N-Out, 2 places I have not eaten at.
I have never had Smash Burger. I've had it In-N-Out, and I thought it was pretty good. So we'll go with that.
All right, In-N-Out. McDonald's and Wendy's, another super tough one. This is just wrong.
McDonald's is too elite, bro. It's too elite.
Too established, the blue blood.
Yeah, I have so many good memories of McDonald's too, man. Going there with my grandpa as a kid and stuff. So
touche.
That's going to be hard to upset in my brain.
All right, that's fair. Five Guys and In-N-Out. Again, I don't have the In-N-Out experience, so I'll defer to you.
In my opinion, having each burger, I do think that Five Guys is a little bit better.
All right.
When I go for a burger, I like greasy, bro.
I think McDonald's is winning this one anyways.
I agree.
All right. Johnny Rockets and Carl's Jr., which is the same thing as Hardee's. I've never had Johnny Rockets, so I guess I'm waiting. I'll just call it Hardee's instead of Carl's Jr.
I'm with that.
Okay. Sonic and A&W. I would go A&W strictly for the root beer.
Okay, I'm with it.
Panera Bread and Cookout. We have a Panera in Sheboygan, and I've still never eaten there.
Panera is, in my opinion, it's garbage.
Okay. I'm just going to go with this random one for no reason. Okay. Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A. I have not eaten at Zaxby's either.
Chick-fil-A, dude. Chick-fil-A. Just for Giannis.
Okay. I'll let him advance. Hardee's and A&W. I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that Hardee's has actually pretty good breakfast food swings Hardee's for me.
Okay. I mean, I've had their breakfast food too, and I think it's pretty good.
Hardee's and Chick-fil-A.
It's Chick-fil-A for me, but if you like Hardee's, I'll defer.
It's more of a once-in-a-while thing for me than to be like, no, it's got to be Hardee's. Reggie said Five Guys. Popeyes or KFC?
Damn, that's tough, bro. I would go KFC.
We also got a Popeyes in Sheboygan, and I haven't eaten there yet. I had it once, and I thought it was okay. I lean KFC, to be honest with you.
I would pick KFC, too.
That's probably an offset. People are going to be like, how could you pick KFC over Popeyes? Firehouse Subs and Jimmy John's. I haven't eaten at Firehouse Subs, but the thing that I like about Jimmy John's is their bread.
I would pick Jimmy John's.
This one, super easy because I don't know what Blimpie is, so I'm going to go with Subway.
I'm with it.
Charlie's and DeBella's. I've had Charlie's once, and it was decent.
I've never had either, so you can pick.
Charlie's is at the food court in the mall.
Oh.
If you want to try it. Papa John's and Pizza Hut. Now, these two are goated. But if I'm honest with you, at my house, we order Papa John's more often than we order Pizza Hut.
We order Papa John's as well. I like Pizza Hut better.
Which one are you going with here?
I don't care. You pick.
Domino's and Sbarro. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I hate Domino's pizza. I like their pasta, hate their pizza.
Tomorrow it is.
Chipotle or Moe's? I've never eaten at a Moe's.
Chipotle for sure. Can I get some
Taco Bell and Arby's.
Chipotle?
This one's tougher than it looks like as a first round matchup.
Taco Bell. That
All
was
right.
not tough for me.
Papa John's and Sbarro. I'm going with that one. Chipotle and Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
I agree. Taco Bell and Papa John's.
Taco Bell. Tyler, where do we go when we go to games? Taco
True.
Bell.
True. KFC and Jimmy John's.
It's KFC for me, but
I concur. Subway and Charlie's. That's an easy one.
Subway.
Subway and KFC. This is actually kind of tough.
I would pick KFC because I like the little mashed potato chicken bowls. I like the spicy one. I like Subway
right.
though too.
I'll allow it. I probably would have leaned Subway, but I'll allow it. McDonald's and Chick-fil-A.
Either is good. I don't care. I would pick
I lean
McDonald's.
KFC and Taco Bell.
Oh, that's so tough.
Dude, it was cool in Sheboygan when we had the KFC Taco Bell combo.
Yeah.
But
I would lean Taco Bell, but I'll let you decide.
I agree. It was actually really awesome because there was a Taco Bell Pizza Hut combination, so I used to get like 3 tacos and then I'd get breadsticks, which was awesome.
Yeah.
McDonald's and Taco Bell.
See, with this matchup, in my opinion, and I'm a chubby guy, so I know these, okay? I know this stuff. This is the bracket for me, okay? McDonald's and Taco Bell, it depends on the time of day, man. If you're looking for a late night snack, bro, you're gonna lay down with your significant other and you just want some quick stuff. Taco Bell is it.
Okay, listen to me here. So
see, Reggie
said T-Bell at 2:30.
See?
This is my thing. I have 2 children, right? They are 9 and 6. Every single time we ask them where they want to go, they say McDonald's. Yep. So I'm a little McDonald's out. I'm leaning Taco Bell.
Let's go Taco Bell. Winter is the same way, bro. She every time Happy Meal, 6-piece chicken nugget, double fry, and applesauce, dude, or apple juice.
All right. So if you've watched our show before, you know these next 2 brackets are about to get real controversial, and Jake and I might actually fight a little bit on these next 2. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This next one we are both gonna take deadly serious.
Bro, you better not, bro. Don't do what I think you about to do, bro.
There's 2 brackets that I know that we are gonna have some back and forth on. There's 2 of them. Which one do you think I'm gonna start with?
You better start with one I think. Just pull it up. Let me see this. Oh, I'm in. Frosted Flakes in the championship. Frosted Flakes in
I might be the most excited I've seen Jake get in a while.
Frosted Flakes in the championship, bro. in the chip, bro. Nobody's beating Frosted Flakes.
Settle down. We gotta still do the bracket, dude.
No, right. Bro.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Blueberry Cheerios.
Cinnamon Toast, bro. That's honestly.
Okay. Frosted Mini Wheats and Alphabets.
Alphabets, dude. What?
Really?
Yeah, bro. You can spell words, dude. You can tell people.
I don't care. I don't want to spell words with my cereal.
If you tell people F off in the morning.
Frosting side on your tongue, like frosting side down.
I don't eat healthy cereal, so.
Frosted Mini Wheats is not a healthy cereal. Literally has frosting on it. If you get like the Psychopath Mini Wheats that don't have any frosting on them, then I agree with you.
Okay, fine. Pick the frosted. I don't care.
Fucking, we're 2 picks in and we're already going back and forth. Cheerios and Bran Flakes.
It doesn't matter. They both suck ass. So
Cheerios, at least like you can add stuff to them. Bran Flakes just sounds like sadness in a box.
I agree.
All right, I know we're about to fight on this. Cocoa Pebbles and Smacks.
Do not say Smacks. I swear to God, dude.
I will fist fight you right now. All of the Pebbles cereals, garbage.
Okay, I do think that they've gotten worse, but they used to be good.
I don't think they've ever been good. They have always been soggy doo-doo.
Fine. I will let you have Honey Smacks.
I still get like the big bags of Smacks once in a while.
Okay.
All the Pebbles cereals, every time I see people like, oh, Fruity Pebbles is so good. No, it's trash. All the Pebbles cereals are trash. They all get soggy in an instant, and the same goes for Rice Krispies. Okay. Count Chocula and Special K.
That actually is some pretty good Special K cereals. The chocolate one is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just said I didn't eat healthy cereal, and then I've had
this one specifically is the red berries.
Count Chocula for sure.
Okay. If we get to a chocolate Special K, I'll let you pick that one. Waffle Crisp and Nilla cereal. I'm leaning Waffle Crisp. Waffle Crisp is actually pretty good.
Waffle.
Raisin Bran and Chocolate Chex.
I don't care. Yeah, I
Doesn't
agree.
matter because Fruit Loops kicks that ass.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Count Chocula and Waffle Crisp. Waffle
I
Crisp.
would lean Waffle. Yeah.
Cheerios and Smacks. That's an easy one.
You take your guys.
Cheerios just not great. It doesn't matter because nobody's getting past Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I used to get, like, when I worked at Frito-Lay, I would get like the little cups, like you get like the dollar cups.
Yeah.
And then I would get like the little like pint-sized chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And I would put chocolate milk in Cinnamon Toast Crunch and then like drink the cereal.
Bro, that's what I do with Frosted Flakes. I put chocolate milk in my Frosted Flakes.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch and chocolate milk. Don't knock it till you tried it because it's actually really good. And it was like my go-to snack for a while.
I'm with it.
Fruit Loops and Waffle Crisp.
Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops. If you want to eat a fruity cereal instead of eating Fruity Pebbles, eat Fruit Loops.
I'm with it.
Now this is, dude, this stresses me out.
This is not hard for me. It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Easy.
Okay, so I understand it, but picking against Fruit Loops is tough.
Fruit Loops is a little underrated. I agree.
Lucky Charms versus Sour Patch Kids cereal. The fact that Sour Patch Kids cereal is a thing is just gross.
Agreed.
Cinnamon Chex and Special K. I do not have a preference here.
Doesn't matter to me either.
Doesn't matter. They're not making it past Lucky Charms. Chocolate Frosted Flakes and Boo Berry.
Chocolate Frost. I never had the actual chocolate Frosted Flakes, so
So I had ones, and I think it was like half and half. So it was like half chocolate Frosted Flakes and half regular.
Yeah.
But I'm leaning chocolate Frosted Flakes.
Bro said Special K.
Brett said Special K. It doesn't matter. Reese's Puffs and Eggo cereal.
Come on.
Reese's Puffs is probably like one of my top 3 cereals.
Agreed.
Wheaties or Peanut Butter Toast Crunch.
I mean, Peanut Butter Toast Crunch is one of my, is a top 5 cereal in my opinion.
I'm with it.
With chocolate milk, bro, you're literally having a Reese's cup.
I'm a big dude, like peanut butter and chocolate. Like I love that combination. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. And I remember, and they discontinued it, but before basketball games in high school, like I used to eat Wheaties Fuel, and they stopped making it.
I think hate Wheaties. Yeah, nobody likes the actual cereal. They just want to make a box.
Yeah. Just buy it for the box and throw the cereal out.
I have one.
Brett said Reese's Puffs all day. Cookie Crisp and Corn Chex. I'm going to go ahead and make that Cookie Crisp right away. I actually just polished off a bag of Cookie Crisp 2 days ago. S'mores cereal and Corn Flakes, also known as Sad Frosted Flakes. So I'm leaning S'mores here.
S'mores cereal?
This is easily one of my top 3 cereals as well, of Captain Crunch Berries.
No, don't eat it, but if that's yours, go ahead.
You don't eat... Oh, I thought we were friends, man. You don't.
I'm not a berries guy, dude. I'm just not a berries guy. It is what it is, man. I don't even eat real berries. I don't eat strawberries, blueberries, none of them.
I'm gonna just let that slide.
You let it go. You let it go. You let it go. You move on with your life. You move on. You move on with your life, dude.
Okay, we crossed out this 8-9 because it doesn't matter because Lucky Charms wins. Chocolate Frosted Flakes and Reese's Puffs. I'm going to override you. I will fight you. I will defer to you here. Peanut Butter Toast Crunch and Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp.
All right, I was okay with either one. S'mores versus Captain Crunch. Buck stops here.
Yeah.
Lucky Charms and Reese's Puffs. Listen, if you get to a point where you're at the end of your bowl of Lucky Charms and all you have left is the little like arrow things, like just throw the whole bowl away.
Yeah, I agree.
Cookie Crisp and Captain Crunch. Personally, I lean Captain Crunch, but since you aren't, a connoisseur of Captain Crunch, I will allow you to decide that you want Cookie Crisp over it.
I'm a Captain Crunch guy, so I'm with it.
Oh, you just don't like Crunch Berries?
Yes.
Okay. Reese's Puff for Captain Crunch. I think this is where the game is going to end for Captain Crunch because of the roof of the mouth conundrum.
Yeah, and Reese's Puffs is just so good, dude. It hits every time.
All right, I'm gonna leave this here and just let people marinate on the fact that Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Reese's Puff have to face off.
That's tough. Yeah,
okay.
Frosted Flakes, dude. Come on.
Kix and peanut butter Cheerios.
Doesn't
Chocolate
matter.
peanut butter Cheerios.
It doesn't matter. They're losing the Frosted Flakes. So
go ahead and pen that there. Golden Grams and Frankenberry. Golden Grams isn't bad. I haven't had it since I was like 11. I'm
a Golden Grams guy.
I'm with it. I'm not mad at it. Fruity Pebbles and Kashi Goleen. I think I would rather eat a bowl of nails like SpongeBob.
I agree.
Gonna let GG's advance.
Yeah.
Corn Pops and peanut butter Chex. That one's actually kind of tough.
That one's random as hell. Corn Pops is pretty good. I've had them before.
Yeah, I like Pops. I get those once in a while. I never heard them called Corn Pops. They were just always Pops.
Apple Jacks for sure, dude.
Oh, yeah. Rice Krispie Treats. That's not a cereal. They're just Rice Krispies. Or Captain Peanut Butter Crunch.
Captain Peanut Butter Crunch for sure, dude.
I'm with that. Brett said I'd rather eat a bowl of Razor Blades.
Fucking A, dude.
Fruity Pebbles, like I said, all the Pebbles cereals, doo-doo, and Kashi Goleen sounds like something my mom would eat.
Honeycomb, dude. Honeycomb is legit.
Dude, you can still picture the mascot they had when we were kids.
Fucking A.
I guarantee you can still picture it. Pops and Apple Jacks. This one's easy for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Captain Peanut Butter versus Honeycomb.
I'm a Captain guy.
I'm okay with going Captain there. Frosted Flakes and Golden Grams.
You already know.
Yep. Apple Jacks and Captain Crunch Peanut Butter.
I'm gonna let you pick. I don't care about either. I like both.
We have the peanut butter representation in the bottom left bracket, so I'm gonna allow Apple Jacks to advance, and it doesn't matter because Frosted Flakes.
Bro, I eat Frosted Flakes once a week with my daughter. So I have that they're my favorite cereal, and my daughter loves them. They're not losing. Unless if Cinnamon Toast Crunch makes it, I'm just going to let you know, I might pick that over Frosted Flakes. That's the only one.
So I was like a chubster, and this was high school, and even though I did this, I still couldn't gain a lot of weight. I used to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on my Frosted Flakes, and then the milk would be even sweeter at the end.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, I used to put sugar on top of something that was frosted. Brett said, Jake, of course you're a captain guy because the captain is in you.
That's a comment. That's a comment.
Honey Nut Cheerios and Grape Nuts. So this is the 60 and over division.
Just pick them, dude.
Rice Krispies or Honey Bunches of Oats. This is the fucking 60 and over division. Oreos, Golden Crisp. I'm okay with either one.
Oreos.
OG Captain Crunch and Rice Chex.
OG, bro.
Trix and Chips Ahoy. Trix is easy for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Trix are for kids, but I still eat them once in a while. Cocoa Puffs and Apple Cinnamon Cheerios. That's an easy one for me.
I'm with it.
Life and Cocoa Krispies. Again, you can just miss me with the Krispies. I would actually rather eat Life cereal. I would actually rather eat the plain Life.
I'm with it.
Cocoa Krispies. French Toast Crunch and Drumstick cereal.
French Toast Sticks.
Honey Nut Cheerios and Rice Krispies. Man, just a matchup that I really could not care about. Oreos and Original Captain Crunch.
I'm original Captain Crunch guy.
I'm down with it, and I'm totally down with putting Captain Crunch in the Elite Eight if you're down with it.
I'm with it too.
Tricks and Cocoa Puffs. Jeffy's Cocoa for Cuckoo Puffs.
I would lean Cocoa Puffs, but if you like Tricks, I'm fine with it.
No, I would lean Cocoa Puffs as well. Life and French Toast Crunch.
I would do French Toast, but
I'm okay with it. French Toast Crunch versus Cocoa Puffs.
again, I would do French Toast, but if you want Cocoa Puffs, I'm fine.
Man, that's tough. That's like a coin flip one. I fought you on Smacks. I'll let you do French Toast Crunch.
Nice, sick.
Captain Crunch and French Toast Crunch.
Captain, dude.
Cat. Doesn't matter because it's not beating Frosted Flakes.
Nope.
Now we got to come back to this, dude. Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Reese's Puffs.
That's tough. That's tough. I would pick Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but honestly, if I get a bowl of either of those, I'm a happy man.
I'm a happy camper either way too.
I have I have all of those cereals upstairs in my house right now. So
wow, Brett and Reggie both said Reese's Puffs, and we picked against it.
I mean, I like both. You can mix them. That would be delicious.
Reese's Puffs.
I've done that.
Here we are. Now
we're
just okay. We need to have a conversation of philosophy here for a second. Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Reese's Puffs mixed together. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I might have to buy 2 boxes of cereal tomorrow.
I would too.
We might have to try that and get back to you. That's interesting. Reggie, the tiebreaker might be actually mixing them together, just seeing what happens. But I don't think either one of them beat out Frosted Flakes.
No, not in my book.
Frosted Flakes takes it down. All right. We got a little hairy there in the beginning, but I think we did okay with that. Okay. Last one.
Yeah.
This one's smaller, so this is another easy one. But I wanted to save this one for last because I am hungry, and this is another food-related one. And this one came up in our group chat, actually. Brett said this is rigged. Settle down.
I love them.
Yeah, Frosted Flakes can
I'm
win.
eating my bowl of Razor Blades. All right, you go ahead. I'll have Frosted Flakes, and I'll be happy.
Okay, dude, I will eat the largest bowl of Frosted Flakes you have ever seen in your entire life. All right, here we go. Last one. Again, this one popped up in our group chat, and now it's happening here. I love that this is called Starch Madness. I also love that there's one on here that just says regular ass French fries.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then I also love that it says a raw potato because you're an animal. All right, steak fries and waffle fries. That's actually a really tough first round matchup.
I'm a steak fries guy.
I agree with you, actually. Christopher is going to be mad at that one. Brett said, oh, shit, you guys are killing me. Dude, I'm super hungry, and as soon as this is over, I'm going to get food.
Agreed.
Curly
fries.
I almost said curly-ass French fries. Regular-ass French fries or curly fries?
Curly
said
fries.
Arby's curly fries. I don't care for Arby's curly fries. I don't care for curly fries in general.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would do curly fries. I like curly fries.
Curly fries or steak fries?
Steak.
I agree with you again. Dude, you ever get steak fries next to a steak? Oh, dude, I'm so fucking hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry too, bro.
Brett's sad that waffle fries lost out. I can speak for you on this one because I know who you are as a person. That mashed potatoes advances. Scalloped potatoes or stuffed potato skins?
Stuffed potato skins, dude. What are we doing here?
If they're stuffed, I'm not just eating like plain potato skins. It's a little boring, but
yeah, come on.
That's an easy one. And I can also just go ahead and put this here.
Yeah, come on.
Hash browns or potato latkes?
I do hash browns. I love hash browns in the morning, bro.
Courtney actually makes them. Like, she'll make ham and cheesy potatoes, and for potatoes, she'll make hash browns and then like bake a ton of cheese into them. It's actually really good.
Yeah, dude. Chantel makes like amazing breakfast food. Like, she makes really good bacon and shit, dude.
Nice. Potato chips or tater tots? I am not a tot guy.
Come on, Napoleon. I'm with potato chips though.
So many flavors. Brett is also sad that baked potatoes lost. Tell someone who
potatoes
cares.
are trash, dude.
Dude, they're so overrated. I said that in our chat. Baked potatoes, so overrated.
I really don't care who wins this because I hate potato salad. It's disgusting.
I strongly agree with you as well. Potato soup or a raw potato because you're an animal.
I like potato soup.
I like actually Campbell's makes steak and potato soup, and that's one of my favorite soups.
Yeah.
So we can just let soup make it to there.
Yeah.
Chips or hash browns?
Chips.
I was gonna say if we're talking versatility, it's chips.
And there's chips.
Reggie said twice baked needs to be here just to be twice as overrated. That's what you're doing here, Reggie. Baked potatoes are overrated. Twice baked potatoes just twice as overrated. Soup and chips. I'm down with chips.
I pick chips.
And mashed potatoes and chips.
You know what I'd pick.
I am not joking. This drawing tablet that I've been using, I would literally fill a plate up with this many mashed potatoes at a holiday gathering.
Bro, you already know me, bro. I used to call them heaven's clouds, dude. When I was in high school, I was like, bro, mashed potatoes are just heaven's clouds. That's how
That
good.
sounds like something you would say.
100%. 15-year-old Jake said some of the dumbest shit of all time.
Brett said his heart is broken. Hey, I mean,
You know what?
you watch the show, so you get our opinions.
If you go eat a baked potato, you'll probably feel better. Your taste
You
buds
probably
won't,
won't.
but you will.
You probably won't. All right. Thanks for sticking around with us. If you are interested, Friday night we are doing our offensive line coverage. So we're going to be covering offensive linemen for our draft prep on Friday night. And then Sunday afternoon, evening, the game starts at 6 o'clock. But 5:30, we are going to be starting our pregame show. We are making our own pregame show. We are getting super legit with this. We're taking it really seriously to start Patreon on April 1st. So we are doing some test runs. So tune in Sunday for that test run of our pregame and postgame shows to go with our watch parties. And we will see you Friday night then.